Président Sébastien de Camille, Anna Manada, aussi honorable, Joëva, la conseillère, le CP Conseil, le Cambio, c'est Bertin, Jean-Robert, le Sotéawa, Otto Robert, Dipin Pina, la veille de Pékin, mon fils. Aussi mal name on you. Name on
Let's welcome. Let's get a program going. Good evening. I'm Alfonso Zain. So right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Time check here is 8:10 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this event. Lot is unfolding. Welcome. Just hit the share button, and this is the first time we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are honoring the sounds of the voice of the independent crew here this evening. So trust me, we're going to have a fair, balanced conversation, and we hope to join our reporter, our chief, LPR chief inside the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, Magdine. Hopefully the network will do us a favor and will join us to get the latest. Of course, you know what the implications, what it means, the political context. We are getting new revelations as to how Ami Madar reached the now resigned Minister of Commerce, Republic of Liberia, the first casualty in the Joseph Boycott administration. These and many more will focus high on this program this event. This is the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered. Okay, good evening. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Zain Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. What is he holding his chain for? Does he have a toothache or what is that? We will find out how this decision came into place. And trust me, the independent crew of this network, Dr. Male Jones, independent Walton Ketter, these are the three folks when you listen to this here, the Sissy Goya, the liberal progressive, and look at them. These are the people. Look at them. They plotted against the CEO of this network with some sort of conspiracy theory. You see the liberal there, like a Buddhist chanting. Seriously? He will not pour 4 years this evening. Trust me, he will not. He will not pour 4 years. He will not pour 4 years. So we're gonna have this conversation here. Just bear with us here. Trying to get something here. I'm not sure why this is, but let me just move this. In the meantime, let's take a quick commercial here. Those are people that make us to do what we do here, and we will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, and
okay, let me just interrupt this commercial here. Let's go inside Liberia. Let's developing our national correspondent and head of the Liberia Public Radio, veteran journalist Mark Dunn, is in the nation capital this early morning. Our journeyman via phone. Mark Dunn, good evening, good morning. Let's can you edit, can you kind of pump up your volume a little bit? Let me see here. I want to make sure the audio here. Yeah, can you check your audio system there, please? Yeah, I'm trying to do mine on my side here too because yeah, my volume is good here. I hope the liberal wing, they are not part of. Are you there? Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on. Okay, let's try again. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me see. Let me adjust it and see if I can call you because the voice, I'm not sure. Are you guys hearing, Sissy, don't get Patricia, Vasco, are you hearing the caller from inside Liberia? Mike, let me hear your voice and see. Okay, let me just hang up and I'm gonna call you right back. Okay, let's see what there will be improvement, okay? Okay, just bear with us yet a little bit. Okay, I think the volume was something, I think, from my side here. So guys, just bear with me. Let's go inside Liberia and some of the information we are also getting here with respect to the resignations, and we are hearing the heated cabinet meetings today. Let's see here what we can get, Mike. Okay, Mike, are you there? Okay, so why is this? Hold on. Why is this volume? Something is. Go ahead. Let me see. Hello? Yeah, I'm not sure why there's something not right, something. The liberal and his folks, whether they not do some kind of thing here with the system. I'm not sure why the audio is so low. That shouldn't be the case. But go ahead, let's see. Are you guys hearing the caller from inside Liberia? I'm sure my voice, I'm audible, but I want to make sure the gentleman calling from inside Liberia is audible as well. Are you, Sissy, are you getting the caller? Clarence, don't go there with me in the evening here. I don't. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The men who watching from Resignation Avenue all getting the problem. Okay, Mike, let's see. Yes, I'm getting you. I'm just worried what are the folks, the audience to be hearing you. I'm hearing you, but I'm not sure it's doing the audience favor. Okay, let me bring in the co-host here. You know what? Let me see what I'm able to change device and see if I can call you on the other side. It's very much important. But I need to get a feed. Clarence David, let me bring in Dr. Jones here. He is the co-host and one of the independent. So, Dr. Jones, let me just see here. I know out here this evening here. Let me just show you something here quick. Yeah, they were DOA. Now, see here, the independent crew. That's it. That you see in the co-host, Dr. Malik Jones, and the independent Wilton Keto. And then we have the conspirators of this network. You see the other guy, like a Buddhist, he chanted as a Buddhist.
Well, I know it's going to be
I'm trying to go to Liberia.
Again.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Liberia to see Mike down here. I'm not sure why this line. Okay, Mike, go ahead. Okay, this is something. Let me switch it off and put it back. Okay, Dr. Jones, good evening. Welcome to the rest of the analysts. The link is out there. Of course, we want to welcome our guys. Clarence, Aaron is in the house. David, Sembe is there. Beatrice, thank you for joining us. Comfort, thank you for joining us. Vasco, to welcome. Of course, our own man from Resignation Avenue. Since this guy here, he will not enter Lofa. I thought you were going to be the guy. That's how he can bully people. That's another intelligent way from sanction. Now he go to Resignation Avenue. He go to Resignation Avenue. Hey,
already telling you where he is resigning from.
Resignation Avenue. How did they get that rope? No quota. There's everything there. I'm working the line here. I'm working the phone lines because Mike, there's some development we want him to bring here. I don't know why it's going so slow. But in the meantime, Dr. Jones, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Look, too much going on. There was a major cabinet retreat or meeting, and we are getting some tip off as to what went wrong, how it was a heated one. People did not hold back. And we want to share some of those things. Oh yeah, people, we're not gonna. There was a heated meeting. The unexpected unfolded. Of course, they were off camera, but no matter what, when things happen, we get people there to also give the info. But quickly here, this is all things considered. As usual, we go into your portfolio, your political portfolio, and get your take. And of course, one of the big keys here is the resignation here. But let's hear you. I'm trying to reboot this phone number here. How is the Wednesday so far?
Well, the Wednesday so far is not so bad, and at least we want to thank the Almighty God for giving all the strength and the energy to come this far. And it's like we found ourselves living in a very sophisticated society.
Right.
So it's like each day that passes by, we just give thanks to the Lord as we move on, try to get out of trouble, and remain peaceful and law-abiding.
Okay, that's good. All right, law-abiding. That is what we want to do. We want to be a law-abiding people. Let me see what. Okay, I noticed it wasn't really inserted into the transmitter or the mixer.
Okay.
Mr. Dan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Okay,
I
good.
guess
Yeah, much
you
audible.
know,
The liberal wing, the liberal and his ally try to hijack, to hack my system here so that they can't get the news because it's not in their favor. They don't like it. They will not talk about it. And this is why they are not here. Some of them now to Resignation Avenue in Minnesota, Washington, standing by with their glasses on, but they will get the story. Okay, Magda, you are in Morovia this early morning hours. What is the latest? What is happening? So we're getting a lot of other information from the meetings held today, and we are hearing it was some sort of hidden meeting. We'll come to that. But tell us, what are you hearing? How this whole information broke out today? What is the latest on ground?
well, you know, Liberia, especially in the capital Monrovia, is always a politically charged environment. There were all of the biggest politicians, the talk of the mover and shakers of politics in Liberia, there where everyone is based. So always you will have a tropical issue always. Every night then you will have a training issue. Of course, today the news broke that the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Amin Moda, who is the former chairman of this ruling party, has resigned his post. That's among all of the training issues, that's the leading training issue or the leading discussion right now in Liberia, the resignation of the Commerce and Industry Minister Amin Moda. And later on, probably we're going to be going to detail as to what led his resignation.
Okay, let's jump to that. The analysts are here. Moderate commentator Terry Collins, who is not too of a good friend with the liberal wing here, but I try to learn. But you know, Terry really he always speaks his mind, so they don't like it. So they label him as not one of them, but he's here. So let's just hear you, and then before I come back. So how he got to this point? Now he has resigned. What next? What is the conversation in the quarter?
Well, that's the main question, the million-dollar question. Since he has been resigned, what next? Will he be prosecuted? Because already we've been told that he has been forwarded to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the LECC, for follow investigation. But to go a little background of it, Mr. Ami Moda, who is the former chairman of the Unity Party, was appointed as Commerce and Industry Minister in January when President Bouaka took over as president of the country, and he has since been the minister who some of his admirers have praised him of doing good, uh, taking into consideration the stability of the price of petroleum product, even though the impact of reduction they have been questionable. They have been questionable. So to cut all matters short, I mean, long story short, Mr. Animoda recently purchased a vehicle that cost 96,000 US dollars
But that
from
was
a fund.
yeah, it's the complications of the convoluted story regarding that vehicle. That was not the initial price he, Mr. Moda, I reported. Then the story, the question now becomes how it got to that point of 90 something. It was like a 40 something, how it got to that point.
So that's the issue. Yeah, when the news broke out, when political activist Martin Colley broke the news that the Minister of Commerce has just purchased a vehicle from a fund that was set up by a concessionaire Netflix, a continue and shipping monitoring group, which many Liberians said that they are coming is posing for a breath on businesses because they have to charge monetary fees. Many people are deemed then personal non grata. They are not really a necessary group, but yet and still, the government of former President we are brought them in, and they are since been raising some money. So they have money that the Ministry of Commerce and that of the Liberia Revenue Authority are aware of. And that money is a capacity building fund, is a development fund that can either be used by the Ministry of Commerce or by the Liberia Revenue Authority. But the Ministry of Commerce is a lead on that. So that few months, about 2 months back, the news broke that Minister Moda has purchased a vehicle, and the funding came from that particular escrow account set up by the government, like through the revenue sharing benefit of the METEC income. So, and then later on, Mr. Moda went on to debunk that information that the vehicle only cost $45,000. In fact, he went on to say that he showed proof. I mean, he showed receipt and showed some document, and that the vehicle cost $45,000. But that $96,000 probably after went on and continuously haunted until today.
So quickly here, that's a big lie. And this is why the guys here, when they read a report, they say big lie, the Trump big lie, from 45 to 90 something. That is literally a devil's side. So did he give justification? Did he tell the media how it got to that amount? What sort of explanation? But we're hearing prior to that resignation, there was a huge family meeting. We're being told the family to pressure him. The family told him to save the image of the family and their business institution. That was the final that was the final resolution. He, Mada, and the family came out before getting to that. Why some other insider of the ruling establishment were trying to pave to curve a way through to see what it is they feel that maybe it will have gone away, but the family to ultimately pressure him that he needs to get out to save the image of their business. He's a business oriented. So how he got there, was there any explanation as to how from 40 something to 96? I think that's where the camel by got broken.
Yes, definitely. There was some breach of information, some clarity. We have a society that is gullible, that when a particular information is got into the ears of the public, it's very difficult to change it, especially where a new government, the government are promised to do so much in terms of governance, that just very early, just less than a year, that such news of corruption already there have been information that the $22 million for road rehabilitation that came into being, that money was not properly spent, and the LACC also is to investigate that. So if news of Mr. Muda or investing or taking that amount of money onto himself to purchase a car, it went just like a wildfire actually. So, and it was just difficult for him to have defended himself to the level. Even there was information I would gather that he was even complaining that while the members of the Unity Party were not protecting his interests, and that some of the pressure that led to his resignation. So it was so complicated. Besides that, there was another information that Moda had been not paying taxes. He accrued a yard, a mini yard, or a boat that he did not pay proper or proper tariff towards that.
So
we've been told that it was equivalent $84,000, but he paid just a little over 400 United States dollars for that. So coupled with that, yeah.
Okay, well, let's bring in our sister Goya from Resignation Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and see. Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead quickly before I can go back to the crew here, because there are a lot of information coming in with this whole thing here. Now, bottom line, what is coming from out inside the executive mansion? We're getting some information from the meeting held today. There were a lot of ties. We have been told it was heated, so we're yet to get a confirmation. But however, they will not the way I come about. Obviously, there was a heated meeting, and we will come to that. But what is coming out of the executive mansion? Now he has resigned. What become of his fate?
Well, this is the main question that many Liberians have been asking. People are saying that since he has resigned, there should be some investigation as to what actually happened because usually when the public speculate, the LCC too need to go into the in-depth investigation. So this is what the public is expecting from the LCC. About the resignation, we were told that President Bwaka had not been happy with him. In fact, Bwaka has instructed him to do so in order to avoid being disgraced. He was pressured to resign, to tender his resignation in because he has Bwaka has initially planned that from the online meeting in New York, he would have met him so as to sit and discuss. But the president have gone to the ministry and never make any attempt. So he was pressured to tender in his resignation. Yeah.
So, from all indication, is it fair before I go to the guy that he betrayed the interests of the rescue boat? Can he still be considered as a rescuer?
Well, this is what many people are saying. This this is this has been serving as some early warning sign, in the sense that the rescue mission has come with the mantra of rescuing the arrest agenda, which is also quote unquote a rescue mission to ensure that Liberians can be alleviated from the bad governance of quote unquote ex-president George Weah. So at this time, there have been many unanswered questions that is it a rescue mission or this mission is a looting mission, quote unquote, because many people have been saying, well, it's too early, but this is a sign. It's a serious warning sign that
This is why I don't like to hear
there's a
this early. The child is not born. This child is eating canna. This child is breaking P4 bone. What happened when this child is born? So that early is too early. I don't just like to hear that. Those are the liberals. The liberals went on this network. That's their soundbite. Those are the kind of rare media that true about it. I need to go to quickly, and then I will go to my guys here because our man from Resignation Avenue may be getting more information.
Yes. So definitely, Alfonso, that many people have been saying that it's not a good sign for the rescue mission because this is a mission that came with a government that came with the mantra of taking Liberian from where they were to a higher height, to a level that they should be at. But as you speak, there are many promises that were made that has not been implemented. Those promises have not been implemented. So just on 4% of those promises that were made have been implemented. Issue rules, which is part of the one of the error in the arrest, is still a point of discussion. So there are so many issues.
So I don't know which of it. So the rescue not arrest his own rescuer. This is the all things considered. Let's get a program going.
Yeah.
Let me bring in our guys here joining us right here as usual. Senior contributors, analysts, pundits standing by. Some from defected parties. Their party was defeated. The foreign coalition to form political accommodation announced. Here we are, but my co-host is here, Dr. Malik Jones, one of those who represent the voices of the voiceless here. He's here, and I hope one of our independent guy here, Keto, will come here. So this network, we have great analysts, but when you see these three faces, the independent faces on this network, you see then Keto, Dr. Jones with his George Bush type of art and all of that is here, but the liberal wing is here. Okay, let me bring in Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, this is all things considered. I do not know what your own talking point, but obviously we know what is happening right now. Let's go strictly in your playbook. What do you have as point 8 on your talking point this evening?
Well, for my talking point this evening, I've decided to zero in on the 10,000 unskilled youth. The president decided to gather together to offer them what I call first-hand technology knowledge in Liberia.
Okay. I want to go to the details. Is that all, or is there anything else you want to put in before I go
Is
to
that all? And the rest will be on the commerce minister and vice versa. How I think what's happening right now is not a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
No.
Okay, let's put that on the radar to see who's who and who's telling the truth. Let me go to the political to Reverend, who is also a senior supporter of the rescue team, but he's moderate. Terry Collins.
Yes, sir, Mr. So.
These are the words of my co-host, independent, because when the voice comes from the independent folks, most or less it represents over the 5 million Liberian plus folks that lives on Resignation Avenue and all of that. Dr. Jones says it's not a surprise. Is it a surprise?
It is to me, in as much as I expected him to do it. I'm still surprised that he did it, you know. And even though it's not done the way we want him to do it, but he did it anyway, because I really did not think JMB were going to take that action, because like I always say, I know the family, I know the closeness.
Which actions, what are you trying to modify here? Who took what action, Terry Collins?
Well, I would say that the resignation did not come from Amin himself, because if you read Amin's letter, I just read a letter of Amin. Amin is still defending himself in the letter. He's not he's not showing some level of remorse or anything like that. He's still trying to defend that he presented all documents and all of that, and to protect his integrity, blah, blah, blah. So he resigning, you know? And I don't think, so he must have been pressured to do that.
I would say the pressures are coming from twofold, but this guy, he doesn't want to repent. Then he lying there, because there are a lot of things that the family also.
Yeah, and Mark just told us. So Mark just said the man lied that the car, he said, was 45,000 on up below, blah, blah, blah. And then he justified in a letter that he presented all documents, facts, and things to show them, why are you resigning?
Exactly. This is what the trouble is. So it could be the pressure comes from in the inner, but also we were also told that there was a meeting held by the family in order to save their business institution. But that's a secondary thing. More or less, he working for the government, taxpayer paying. So whatever thing, the family can also do that. But let me go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Sissy Goyer is standing by. Sissy, here we are, the first former chairperson of a major opposition party, at the end of the day, become a ruling party. I mean, with that, anybody expected getting at this point to be the first guy to hit the ground soil like that?
Not to be the first guy, but did I expect that Joseph Newman Boaka would take action? Absolutely. And let me say for the record that this is a good day for transparency in Liberia. This is a good day for good governance. Only people who feel government 101 will tell you that Joseph Boaka did not fire Amin Muda, because in government, people who are presidential appointees most of the time resign as a way of being fired. And so today we're here to teach our people who want to put a spin on this thing and say Joseph Boaka does not have a spine, that Joseph Boaka is throwing the spine. Unless you got D- in government 101, they will let you go. If you throw that on 404 on university campus, will let you go. But all of us that are here who have watched in this developed country and everywhere else, if let's go back to just the last government. Remember this girl at the fishery, this lady at the fishery who had a car that was about $100,000+. And people talk about that car and they say, oh, it was the fishery. The Congress for Democratic Change, oh sorry. My educated brothers and sisters from Muna Youngblood International University defended that to the end. They never pushed anybody out. So to say this old man sleeping ponyon, this man is sleeping every day, 1 hour close, he got half a battery in him, and he can get somebody who was a critical supporter of his. I mean, but that put a lot of money into the campaign for the president. I mean, but that is not like any other person. He uses resources for this election to be pushed out. I think it's a good day for Liberia. I think it's a good day for the rescue mission. I think this is how you show people that you came to rescue them. When some people in the boat start putting hole in the boat, you throw them over from the boat to rescue the Liberian people. And I think that's happened today. So we are on this platform today with these people. If you fail government and 008 remedial class will let you know that this is how a president fires people that he or she nominates. They resign. That's how government operates.
Now they are resigned. Mike, let me just bring you in and I will go to Dr. Mallet. They resigned. What next is the most important thing, resign. So, Mike Down.
Sister, you hear, man?
Yes, I'm here, Council. Are you getting
Yeah,
me?
I see the man. What they call it independent. When they were talking to become independent, message is a weird shit. The man pledge the support to an individual. That's a court. But let me leave we talk for tonight.
Yes, so are you getting me?
Yeah. Like, come in.
Yes, so definitely the people were saying he was pressured from both angles, from his boss and that of some of his surroundings, which include his family. So usually, this is how it is. His second government official recitation, the finance minister, Mr. Burma Kamara, the former finance minister, Mr. Burma Kamara, was the first. In similar manner, he is tendered in his resignation, citing poor health. Also, now that Mr. Amimuda has tendered in his resignation, they have been caused that he should be prosecuted. There should be some level of investigation. Again,
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you ask him a question? What was the crime that we're prosecuting for? Please ask him.
For purchasing a vehicle, or it was misapplied. So the misapplication aspect of it, the only person who can determine that is the LCC. So we are hoping that the LCC will launch investigation to that, to ensure that what went wrong is on earth actually.
I know hopefully this thing will be explained, and perhaps the authority will be the right for people as to why he resigned. Is it because of the figure? Was he a wrong? Was he administrative wrong, or was he a crime committed? Are you saying is what? So who are calling on him to resign? Did the government issue any statement to go further to investigate what led to his decisions, or to get much, or are we going to see much more deeper or damaging information as time goes back during this week or so?
Well, it's in the level of the LSCC to ensure that we get to the bottom of this particular investigation. This is why the president, when he arrived at the Arab, he was asked a question of that. He said they were going to look into it, and whatever decision will be taken will be taken. So,
when you say we want to look into it, in what context was he speaking? To investigators, they're going to what? Call for more evidence, or what? What was he saying? My guess.
Of course, if you contextualize it, he was talking about looking into it, finding out there'll be a committee set up to ensure that what have happened about the vehicle purchasing whether it happened the right way or what went wrong. If it borders on misapplication, it borders on some semblance of corruption, that will be investigated by the LCC. So, like I said, when the president arrived on Sunday, he did not talk much about those issues because people have been, there have been, mind you, Alfonso, there have been some high anticipation from the public that Waka should reshuffle his government. People have been saying that probably those low officials that he appointed, some of them were part of the former President Ellen Johnson's legal administration, and they have some sting, quote unquote, sting of corruption on their record. So as such, they won't change. They will be the same kind of people.
Okay.
But I should look into some new breed of officials that will be new, not those same old people that were appointed some 10, 15 years ago, and now they are servicing government. There have been a lot of the outcry from critics of the Bouaka administration.
Okay, let me hold you there a little bit, Mike. Let me go to Terry. Terry, now he has resigned. We yet to know the details. What next after his resignation? Are we going to see you haul rope butch? Because you resigned. He's not telling us because of medical reason, whether he was pressure from the government, whether he was pressure from the family, which of course we are also getting a confirmed report. Family been having an extensive meeting to save the image of their business, but now he has resigned. And his resignation, something prompted his resignation with this whole car thing coming from LRA and all of that. So now, do you think there's going to be a follow-up investigation? And if so, another big tree could possibly fall, because if somebody connive with him and get to establish the authenticity, the actual money, he's saying one thing, he's still willing to defend. Do you think he's willing to go before a court to say, well, I didn't do anything, I resigned? Or was there a deal, court resign and just go away? What are you looking at next to see happening in this whole resignation saga, Terry? Unmute your mic.
I want to believe that it was a deal cut, and I think that is the best I can get out of it, in as much as I will want for investigation to prevail, wherein the LACC, that Max Reddy said, that the LACC will probe into the matter, go to the LRA and audit them. I believe there will be findings that will come up, but obviously, the resignation is the first approach. Then next, we hope to see investigation, but the investigation have to be done by the LACC, by the reputable governing body that will carry, or the ombudsman. The ombudsman can probe into an investigation. I don't know. But I think there was a deal cut, and this is the best opportunity. You put it right, Mr. So. The man want to save a business. And if this man truly supported Ambassador Bouaka, he will make sure that there's the best way I can protect this man. Let he just resign, because that will really save the image of his business, because he's going back into the private sector instead of me beating on him, dragging him all over the place and all of that to try to prove a point. But what I'm looking at also is that this will stir up an anger in the president to take action on other people in the government that are misbehaving. I hope this will do that. But pending investigation, I doubt that will go through. I think this is a deal.
We are getting some tip with Ames, some of the things that were held at a cabinet meeting today, but let's put a spin on this yet. Dr. Jones.
Yes.
What could possibly be the next phase of after his resignation? Do you think LRA is going to be called in? Wait a minute, this whole thing here, you're part of this whole fry here, or is he on edge as we speak as well?
Well, either one of them is not even effective. The fact of the matter here is that when you get more teeth, when you get more when you get more cat than sheep in the vineyard, then sometimes you wonder.
How they make a cat and sheep living together?
Sometimes you wonder whether the sheep going to drive the cat away. But when you see the sheep challenging the cat, then it becomes a breaking news. But in any case, as I said from my opening statement, this is not surprising. You see, in leadership, we are aware of one significant thing, the issue of precedent. Precedent is a secret key in leadership. What the leader does matters a lot. There are so many things His Excellency have been tight-lipped on. And when he jumping over some of those things and try to address some other things, what is ethical is ethical. What is not ethical is just unethical. We have the public work 22 million fiasco all over the place. So it doesn't have a blood in it. They put that behind a robot that His Excellency cannot address. That one. Two, we also have this inauguration fund that should have been investigated. Precedent. Has the result come up? Do we know where we're heading? Precedent. The team members are watching His Excellency. All right? The bosses that even came on the executive mansion grounds that raised a whole lot of eyebrow around here with the aid, and we said, finally said, oh, the information minister will speak. Something where we said the paper where some people say it were not true. Up to today, what has happened gone cool. You see? So precedent matters a lot when it comes to leadership. You see? So if His Excellency had been dealing with the thing from day one, trust me, like what Sister said, most of the thing will not be happening. Most of the team member, the papa said he leading by example. So the team member, the watching him with double eyes. If you bring in 285 pieces of eye-moving equipment, bypassing all China, that's a dangerous precedent. You see? So you got to be mindful in leadership. So what happening now with the commerce minister thing? I think the Pandora box is coming to open. So many of them are going to be involved in malpractices. Maybe the paper will carry on what I call a cherry-picking investigation, as he has done to the audit. So precedent matters a whole lot. So it's not strange to me.
It's not strange to me. Mr. Goya, you have Mali. What is key to me here? Investigations. What are they investigating? We have over 300 investigations. We don't know why it is. So his resignation, does it mean was a crime committed? That's why he resigned, or he resigned voluntarily? I mean, those are questions we need to establish that in as much a lot of things clarity needed. We do not know here. Or turning him over to LACC, does that mean to verify or something wrong being done? Would they bring in, for example, before you come in, would they bring in because somehow there's some sort of correlation here, where the funds coming from, LRA, all of that? Do you think they're going to pull all of these strings to look at what get us to this point?
Look, I like my brother, Dr. Mali, but I know when you get small change, he will drag everything into the fufu pot. So he go all the way back to inauguration and everything. If I be like cooking buyer, you can change report, everything inside. So
Please be careful how you address my co-host, please.
Oh, look at you. Don't make me on the day that I mean when that resign, I release on the report. Don't make me okay. But on a serious note, I think what people got to understand is that when folks who are presidential appointee resign, there are most times one of two reasons. It's either political or it's legal, which is criminal. To the best of my knowledge, Amin Moda has committed no crimes. He didn't go to LRA and take money forcibly. The LRA funded what he asked for. I could be wrong. The reason Amin Moda resigned is political. He does not want to be the distraction to the rescue agenda. President Joseph Nyeman Boakai just left America and went back home. I mean, left a lot of trips. There are so many things that they took back home that the United Party government would love to be in the news. Instead of explaining all of the goodwill that they got out of the country, the focus of the Liberian people has been around Amin Moda, which is taken away. That is a political problem. And so most times, political appointees will fall on the political sword because I don't want to be the distraction. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is a criminal action that can be taken. And again, remember, this is a guy who is a business person. His family run businesses. Beyond that, he put a lot of money into this government. Let me just give people something to compare. Luther Tappe. How many people in corner around Luther Tappe been here? Luther Tappe now resign? No.
So what? Okay, to that point here, quickly, let me just enter. So let me just intro, and you something good. So, can we agree, establish a fact that is government, besides whatever family doing, is that government insider of a Unity Party pressure? Amin Moda.
Absolutely.
Then why Luther Tappe too, who was
again, different people have different strength and different bases. But let me tell you this. Before the drum beat that was after Amin Moda was not the same level of drum beat that was after Luther Tappe. I just brought that in for an example. But if you listen to the president when he spoke, he said that even he is willing to ride a wheelbarrow. And Joseph Boakai speaks in parable. He was talking about Amin Moda $95,000 vehicle that he himself is willing to ride in wheelbarrow. What other people did not understand and try to play for all of was the fact that he was trying to say the optics is wrong. Just because it is your right to do something doesn't mean it is the right thing to do. We keep crying on senators for driving $45,000 car. It is their right. It's legal. But it's not the right thing to do. Amin Moda may have gone through the right channel, but is it the right thing to be driving a $95,000 car in a government that is telling us that you met a lot of problems, that you inherited a lot of problems from CDC? Is that a right use of government resources? It is not legally wrong, but on the optics and on the politics is a right. And that is why Amin Moda is leaving, because his purchase of a $95,000 vehicle is tone deaf. Politically tone deaf. If my children are being told to wait, we will bring drugs to JFK. Y'all wait, we'll face the rule. Y'all wait, we'll do this. But Amin Moda is driving a $95,000 car. It might not be criminally wrong, but on the surface and artistically, it is wrong. It is just not digestible. And so that could be a reason. But here's one thing. I'm going to give you another example. Another example. And I think this is going to come out. Compare Amin Moda's action, where he went through legally laid out process and went to the LRA to pay for a vehicle, versus the LDEA. I talked about this weeks ago. The LDEA that is headed by a former senator. No, not the LDEA, but immigration. That is headed by a former senator and a lawyer who decides that recruits to the immigration service are going to have a medical test done to determine their fitness. Instead of putting out a request for entities to bid or go through the procurement process, the bidding process, they decide to go just walk on the street that you walking go by your market in PV, you testing pound one, they want not correct, yeah, they want correct, and the last old man you run to, he say, yeah, I tell you that pound one, yeah. They did it that way and pick an organization to conduct the medical test. That is wrong. That is illegal. That should be prosecuted. There has been no noise around it. Nobody has done anything around about that. But Amin Moda being a lightning rod has attracted a lot more fire than people who did something that is wrong and is illegal.
Okay.
So I just want people to understand about investigating Amin Moda. What is the plan?
Okay, yeah, no, we will come to that. I'm not gonna post
interjection here.
Yeah.
CEO, can I do an interjection here?
Yeah, go before I bring in that.
Yeah, I don't know why Cesar is beating around where he's supposed to send a bullet point. I think the bullet point is supposed to go to His Excellency.
I'm not going better faster man apart a different container. I'm not going there.
But CEO, CEO, here is the issue.
But man, tell man, I'm going better. Please tell man, I'm going better.
Yeah. Mr. Goya, here is the issue.
That salad, you alone eating that salad. I'm not on board that salad dressing here this evening.
The LRA, according to law, is not in a position to be buying car for people, right? Then where is the GSA? So the question now is, why this government did not turn this man over to the Justice Ministry to make case out of him before sending him to the Anti-Corruption Commission?
But who has been sent to Anti-Corruption Commission? There's no official proclamation that he went to Anti-Corruption Commission. He hasn't been sent to LACC.
Very good. Now it boiled down now to
but they don't see a crime. So these are all speculation. They haven't sent him to LACC.
Okay. No, what I'm saying, it all boiled down to precedent. If there are some people sitting on His Excellency right hand, and they are the Inja Gabriel and Songs moving, and other person are on the left hand, and by the time you spark, they throw you down close to the pit, there is going to be a problem. His Excellency is working with a team, and every single member of the team has got his or her own objective in this thing. So the papa, he got to strike what I call an ethical equilibrium into this thing here. Yes.
This is how
he got to go touching. He got to go touching.
And you see the doctor there. That the same doctor that Israel government that quoted all the things, but they had FDA, even though they had no forest in Maneuver, they had FDA.
The doctor different from concomitant soil, please. So, yeah.
Look at the men defending. Look at I said Archbishop. You're not talking today. The men defending him, man.
I want to talk about for you guys.
No, you know the main title on this here, but let me bring in theory here because you lay out this thing here and you kind of try to be the cross bearer here as if make it plain nothing is done. Okay, GSS is responsible to provide services, vehicles, whatever thing.
Sorry, man, I didn't end my topic. The president just bought, according to reliable sources, 2 cars, 2 bulletproof cars. And the argument in the parliament now is that the car George we are left behind, former George President George we are left behind, is still in good condition.
It was smelling like weed. It was smelling like too much weed.
It
was smelling like weed. So the baby was driving. I learned from reliable sources that Kush was inside, so the baby was riding.
They will not give all chance. You see?
No, I'm not here for
I know.
Listen, I'm coming to we're getting the insight of the meeting that went on.
I don't know what I want.
Sese is trying to
I want 30 to call to net. At 30 I'm waiting for a call to net.
I'm actually going to get wait, he said breakable here. I don't know why it's breakable. But we're getting some insight here from today's meeting. We're going to come to that. But Terry, what I want to talk, where we want us to talk. This is a very serious thing. And this is how I see more challenges or more some sort of hair butting within the party with respect to I mean, I don't know what going to be the subsequent decision on some of these cases that have been reported, and it's holding up 300 cases now. Nothing much, nothing so far been touched to come to a comprehensive conclusion. Yes, resignation is insufficient, and not just auto it. The process, I don't know whether it's a new provision for government official to go through LRA to secure a government vehicle. That's a different thing. And in Madar, he said it will be used.
That's how the Senate get their vehicles. That's how the House of Representatives get their vehicles through LRA and not through GSA.
So then that's a problem. Yes. So now he said I want to be used by the ministry. Is he as the boss for him, or was he going to be used as a transportation means for ordinary employees of the ministry within several around Monrovia? What can you forecast possibly could be a much deeper problem than we think we are talking about in the next coming days? Trust me, there will be more information, there will be more things coming out that led to this decision. And who knows, every monkey get their own tail, every devil get their own follower. Well, if it was pressure and the family say, hey, we want to save the image of our business, need to get out of this way. Now the question becomes, we're talking about Luther, I don't know why, or many other people, what potentially you think are going to happen?
Well, potentially politically, the opposition can use that against the government in future time to come. I don't like to talk about Luther Tapper on a case. It have to do with the party structure, the laws of the party. That have nothing to do with our constitution. On the other hand, I want to sharply disagree with my senior brother, Sisi. On the other hand, Army is caught in corruption. Army is caught in corruption. So that is the main reason why Army resigned. It's not because I want to believe.
So, Bishop, tell me the corruption, please. Because listening, I want to learn. Because like I said, I don't know. So please tell me.
According to the LRA boss, he said there were cars. It's supposed to have been cars. The money was given for cars because, according to the law, you're not supposed to buy any car above 45,000. That is a law of our state. As a cabinet minister, exempted from the president and all of that. So because Amin Buddha took over $45,000 car, it means that a law was broken. And if you break the law, it's an offense.
So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. The LRA boss said that there is a law in Liberia that says that cabinet ministers do not purchase over $45,000 vehicle.
The LRA
is that what you
boss
say?
did not say that. No.
So which law in Liberia can you help us to look at
in the
that says that?
We got to check it out.
Our constitution? Our constitution talk about no money being about car being.
Come in now. Give me a chance, my brother. It is constitutional. That is the reason why all the lawmakers take the same $45,000 car. That law that impact the
so yeah, why it is.
If the reason lawmakers take $45,000 car is based on transportation cost. They calculate transportation.
It's part of our law.
No, it's not in the constitution. The lawmakers assign to themselves that much money because of transportation cost that they calculate on a daily basis.
But what happens?
Please point it to us, Kerry, so we can go read it. Please point it to us.
No, what happened? Yeah, what going on?
We'll all go online and check it out.
It's an administrative policy.
Now, I want you to tell us. Tell me, so we, because those are two different things. So point it. Let's go look at it. There's nowhere that's written.
It's an administrative policy. It's considering all that was going on, and they said, well, no one should buy a vehicle above 45,000.
There you go. If that is an administrative guideline that comes down from government to government, then it changes from government to government. But it's not in our constitution. It is not related to what happened in the house. The house calculation is based on transportational cost.
Okay. What I want to say, what I'm saying is, so a second thing is, the car process is supposed to go to the public procurement process. LRA cannot just buy a car single-handedly as an institution for one government official in government. That is against the law. Again, it's against our constitution. So, given all these facts constant, I mean, but that broke the law. This is not about precedent. This is about law. So it is a crime and it warrants investigation. But for President Bokka's government, if Army resigns, it cover him up to some extent, and it could protect him in the future. That, oh yeah, we're in a period of time, Amin Mozan, the process still going on an investigation. That is how political people can talk. But it needs to be investigated. It needs to call for clarification as to how the procurement was done. That solicited, that gave Amin Modad the opportunity to own a $100,000 vehicle. How did it happen? All those processes got to be laid out. Because according to our law, a one government official cannot just go to or how you call it, Lpr-Tv and say, you're giving me $100,000 car, let me go buy it. No, it have to go through procedures. It have to go through the PPCC law. So I don't know if all of that will follow and all of that. So that is why I think that it's a problem and it needs investigation. But again, in my opinion, the judgment for him to resign is correct. The president can use the political rhetorics or theatrics and say, you know what, the man is on an investigation. You can be on an investigation for 5 years.
Okay, so because we're on LPR, Mr. So, we got to lay some truth here. Terry cannot point out any part of the Constitution that talk about money for cars. Hold on 1 second. It's nowhere. It is nowhere. And the procurement process in Liberia, from Ellen to George Weah to now, the LRA has paid money for people to purchase vehicles. So that's not a violation of just coming from.
Is it right? Is it
again? Like I'm telling you, that is a policy layout. Terry, listen, the Constitution does not lay out anywhere
according to the law.
It is the law. Terry. There is no law in Liberia that say that if you go against GSA and purchase vehicle, you criminal. There's no law. Well, there is nowhere. Otherwise,
you are not a criminal.
Again, you gotta listen. Again, if there's no law, I'm just telling you, there's no law.
The law, then you are a criminal.
No, I said there is no law. Terry, you gotta listen. You gotta listen. I said there's no law unless you point it out to alternate so we can read it. Because in Liberia, we make assumptions. We make assumptions and say that's the law. Point the law to all. Let's read it. Point out the law that says that the government official should not have $45,000 vehicle. Point that law tonight, and we'll read it. But there is nowhere in place. It has become a policy from government to government that lay out and say, for my government, you will not do this. It is not a law. Okay. And the problem here is, like I said, if it smells like a kickback, if it smells like Amin Moda and the LRA boss were in a cahoot for kickback, then you can investigate that, because kickback is wrong. But to come out here and say that there is a law that says you can buy a $45,000 car, I'm waiting for Terry to show all that law.
So yeah, it is, and not in defense of Terry, but on the flip side of your argument, and I made it clear here, that is administrative policy that forbids that even to the first branch of government not to purchase any vehicle above that now. Now, talking about the investigation, yes, the investigation most like imminent in that we will not know until it is the investigation that will determine whether there is a kickback or not. Dr. Jones.
Yes, sir. I think
what is guy trying to give us salary this evening? I'm not a salary either.
Yeah, I think we need to elevate the conversation to another level. I think His Excellency should the box start with him right now. When the executive mansion, Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Grisby, order NASCO to buy 5 SUV, what happened in town there? There was a noise, and no car was purchased by a mandate. What did His Excellency do? He kept quiet. All right? Precedent. So what I will find a way, I mean, more that. If I were his advisor, I would tell him, stand your ground, don't resign. I was sure to tell him that. Up to today, no car were purchased. You see? So what we see here is that I think the president is encouraging certain things that will caught up with him. And it's very dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. Again, they see Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, one of the top official lawyers there, got on and tried to
whip the Supreme Court to drop some case. That's how I'm going to be running the country. And His Excellency is still not saying anything about those things. So Sese was saying, I'm going back to the county jail. Now I'm on top of the county jail. Now these are recent things. So what we're seeing here is that the puppet will have to address the issue head on.
Put my knee down small.
Yeah. So Honorable, His Excellency got to be addressing the issue head on from time to time. But if you let something slip through and something he speak about it and something, you know, it's like you're dividing the children. And that can be very, very detrimental to how you run the home.
Somebody behind the curtain here and throwing jobs here. If you call yourself, man, come on, bring it on.
Now you had to hire a second do it too, so don't call other people. They say your finger can be busy. But look, Mr. Malley, Dr. Malley, you raised a point, and that was the point I tried to raise here earlier, right? Is that all of a sudden, I mean, that is smelling people that plenty of green flag going around, and they gotta get rid of him. When in fact,
look at him. Now what a flag going around him for? Look at him.
Yeah, but when in fact he followed the process. He didn't go take the money in your hand and go do something. He went to LRA.
Why he resigned?
The point here, like I keep saying to you, is there is a political reason and there is a legal reason. The political and business reasons are that I don't need all this headache. It would take business from all of it. There are so many other things. It doesn't have to be that you did something wrong.
Let's be honest here. So that's a warrant investigation. We wouldn't know.
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
We don't want to assume that it's a.
Here's the thing. What kind of investigation? A political investigation or a legal investigation? Because here's the problem. Here's the problem. No, hold on. If you have the cases of the missing people and the death of the auditors all happening, and you want to take people to go investigate something that might be political and not legal, then you're wasting resources. So my question here to you is, what is the law that you think he broke that should be investigated? And if you can't point out that law, like Terry tried to make us anything you hear, then we can't investigate him because of what head.
No, but CEO, let me ask Sese one question.
He broke the public procurement law.
Yes.
What does that law say? What does that law say? Which part of the public procurement law? Which part?
No, you will go find it.
Which part?
Purchased through the PPCC process.
The man made a request. The public procurement law. Terry, please read it good, because the man made a request through the LRA, which is his right. He made a request and he go a purchase. The man made a request through the government. He didn't go through some kind of full man to buy it. He went through the government, which is the process. My brother, so you go to the LRA. You don't have more. I mean, with that, you go to the LRA. You don't have more that. The law is the law.
Hold on one second, Dr. Jones.
Read the law clearly.
This is what we're going to do. We represent over 15 million voices. And they are these voices from different school of thought, different diverse political, social, economic background. We're not going to make an assumption. We will say the former minister of
y'all stop doing the gossip thing. Y'all go through process.
We will need more.
This is the last spoon level here. You not go through process. Y'all read the law. You not do spoon here. The man went through the LRA. That is the law. No, the process lay for minister. Every minister go through LRA. LRA gotta do that thing after that. That's the law.
You gotta implement some section.
Y'all stop doing this spoon level thing here, ba.
Yeah, hold on. What we're gonna do? What I go through?
I got a question for you.
I'll come in, Dr. Jones. Whether he went through CWAO or JJ Russell, we will need more explanations while whether it was a family, whether it was the administration, and whether did he break any law. And the only way we can establish that is by appearing before. Going to investigator does not mean it doesn't mean there's a crime. You go there when there's no crime, they vindicate you. You walk away free. But we just need to know what's happening. Why the president, if that the president asking what sort of political reasons?
If I were Amin Modar, I would show up to no criminal investigation, because you gotta tell me Listen. You got to tell me what I've done wrong. A government, that why I asked you the question when you asked that question, I said, we're doing political investigation or criminal investigation. Because the government in itself to determine that this should not happen again can do a political investigation and say, do we need a guideline to say our government minister cannot purchase this much vehicle above this much threshold? That is a political investigation. That's an internal reflection. But if you're talking criminal and you haven't told me what law I broke, then I'm not going to show myself there. That's the reason I ask you that question. But in Liberia, we always want to make sure that just because somebody say the person looking like they roll, someone go investigate it and say they roll.
He would not have resigned.
Again, there are many people that resign. That when they got resigned from finance ministry, then you break any law. Just because you resign doesn't mean you broke a law.
No, that was different.
No, that's not different. You said Pastor Terry, your point you made is the man will not resign. He didn't break law. So the other man resigned. Did he break a law?
No.
The Bible been John 11:35. He applied one side, he applied the other side. The point here is, I'm waiting for you to quote me the law that the man violated. Quote it for me.
Yeah, we quote you.
For the finance minister,
I'm waiting. Keep looking. You will not find it nowhere. You know how they begin Kabayase? Say don't get me all right now. Do me fuen. Now why you do your carry all right? That's for fuen.
So yeah, what happened? His resignation upcoming. His resignation is far different from the finance minister.
Yeah.
For the finance minister, we learned and it was crystal clear for health reasons. That is a medical issue.
It was not crystal clear. Did the man release a medical record? Did you see the medical record?
Well, it left with people who wanted to check.
But why you say it's crystal clear when we see the medical record? How is that crystal clear?
No, those are private things. When you say it is
no, but they see, you can't do that one. You can't say crystal clear, then you say, but a private thing. How is crystal clear when you can't see it?
Because that's why the administrator.
You see, the people told you that one, and what you talk. They gave you a story.
That's what I'm saying.
They give you, and you took that story, but why can't tell me with that one story? Why they give you that other story? You take it, but you can't tell me with that one. Then you can't tell us it was crystal clear. That was not crystal clear. Until we can see the evidence, is not crystal clear.
Okay,
it's not.
Give me a chance.
So can I ask one question, please?
That of Kamara. We shouldn't do that. Let's make a last point. Let me pivot to the next information.
Yeah, let me just ask Mr. Sisi and the Right Reverend Minister one question, please. Did His Excellency,
the man Archbishop, the man Minister, Archbishop.
Archbishop, did His Excellency, did His Excellency violated the procurement law of Liberia on the 285 moving equipment? Did he break any law in the?
Yeah, that.
No. That's my first question.
Okay.
Yeah, but to Sisi, will you agree with me that His Excellency ran on the mantra that corruption will be the issue of the past as soon he get into the executive mansion? So that presupposes that even when you smell it, you got to grab it. Corruption is smelling around this case.
Let me put it.
So then the question now is, I come in now, but the question now is, what type of corruption is smelling around this case?
Your problem is, Dr. Mali, for you to even start a question with do I agree with you, it can give me headache, it can make me think to it. Because I'm trying to reopen better a lot. The second part of that question is the man say I will leave Terry to answer with your question. But the man say corruption smelling, you smell like corruption. Sometimes some picking there dirty sauce can smell like moment and I'm moment. You remember say you smell like dirty sauce in your dryer that you been in. So just because it's smelling stink doesn't necessarily mean that moment. So then some picking there rotten sack smelling. So you gotta open your eyeball and look inside it.
You know why I asked that question? I was trying to find out today in the library why is it that Japan and China are succeeding to rather punish corruption. I come in.
You see how the man I care.
No.
I said I'll leave it with Pastor Terry. They make it in Japan.
I got to realize one thing there. they have got too many corruption law. And one of the law that is there that I really like, by the time they accuse you, they grab you straight. You don't even got to resign. Now one of the law there.
Wait.
By the time they say corruption there, they grab you.
Even since they go that honor cover like fire.
Yeah, I don't know cover sedition.
Oh my goodness. By the way, they go on fire. Oh, so you honor cover with who?
Yeah.
We CDC.
So
I don't want buying the old party headquarters.
So, Mr. Goyo, we came on the mantra of fighting corruption. So when you smell it, grab it. Don't even let the person resign. Grab the person, send them to the Ministry of Justice, let him make a case, and send him over, let him defend himself. The particular case.
That is not how investigations are done.
No, this is what the Japanese are doing, the reducing corruption.
The Japanese were the same people that were taking what people are and murdering their families and stuff. So let it out part of they were the reason why we had to use an atomic bomb. So let's go beyond that point.
Let's go to our first caller. Evans, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So thank you.
I go for corruption. I don't know how was a CEO.
You have to check to make sure that Cecil Coel not related to Amin. The way he's defending him now, all his things. I don't know what he's going on with Cecil Coel. Well, look, guys, I think I would give President Boyka a big hand clap because the rumors we're hearing, I would say, is that this was a reduced, resignation. And that's more action than President we are able to do in his administration. So I think kudos to the president. Now let's see how he handles these other perceived or alleged corrupt officials. But overall, like I said, Amin Modad is set. I said it on other platforms. This man was going to make his pathway clear in the commerce, in the corridor of commerce in our country. He's done what he needed to do. He paid his debt. He got all the things he needed to settle. He settled his friends. Now he's going to make big buku money in the private sector. So this is the game. So this whole thing, it's not going anywhere. President Bwaka would say, there's no investigation. He resigned because of so and so. The guy will go scot-free. Now he go back to running his hotels and running his West Market and doing other things he's been doing in the private sector. So no big deal. Kudos to President Bwaka for inducing the resignation. But overall, the main key things will be the golden guineas, the corporate crowd, people who have been notorious for being corrupt in this government, or at least allegedly corrupt. Let's see what actions the president will take on these guys. Then that will tell us if he's turning a new leaf, so to speak. But good show, but Mr. Goya, take it easy. Let other folks speak. I think maybe he allowed to get today,
your man, we're missing you back. Come on the platform back.
So let's go to the second pocket. Let's go to it. All right. I know, Dr. Mali, you mentioned your point. You're going to come to it's 9:30. In 30 minutes time we'll be going, but this is what we are hearing. Those information yet to be authenticated and verified. But we are hearing the cabinet meeting today. It was heated. The vice president was very vehement. For the first time, we have been told he spoke out on some of the things that happened, that he was unaware of the vehicles, and that there should be actions. He being disrespected. What is man calling for? Hello?
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 Yeah, good evening, Mr. So.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I'm not hearing you.
The man can hear you hanging up on you.
Come and play on me out.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm not hearing you. Who's that?
So I said, I want channel phone. You come to play on me.
Oh, the channel phone, the virus in my phone already. I'm not hearing you. Can you call back, please? I'm not hearing you.
Go on. And that one says they give me to all right tonight. I don't know what tell about, but anyway, I hear myself on the corner side. Dr. Mallory, I don't know what kind of question you asking that he tell us that we broke. Where were you when we were what? So now you know how to bring somebody to power. And you for that again. You don't give a hard time when Philly beating up on your children. The young man Philly retiring. The man resigned. Where your wife again? Eh? Where you want?
You should
Oh,
be prosecuted.
You said about it.
you resign?
You said about
You see, yeah,
it.
this is why.
Go
This is why.
to sit down. All of y'all go from there to sit down, man. Y'all leave the man alone. Big up. Let the government run. The government, I know. Y'all think about that there.
Oh,
government
yeah.
there.
So yeah. What Fatu say? Fatu say you go in when your sedition, when you finish calling, then she will come back. So
You know, I love you, DJ. You know,
okay, buy my battery finishing. Buy.
I just tell you.
I say buy my battery. My battery dying.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, brother. So how you doing?
Oh, no. Okay, the battery re-energized. Wilton Kelton. The battery come back to life. Welcome. Let's go ahead. Go ahead quickly. I want to bring the point.
Thank you so much. So, from the beginning of the show, I heard the rescue disciples celebrating that at least Joseph Boakai, doing exactly what he said he would do with corruption, but not hearing my brother. I'm a former commerce minister. It's not an act of corruption. Terry saying that, man, I don't know he was put on pressure to resign. I don't know. You can't have a cake and eat it. It's either Joseph Boakai not fighting corruption. This man resigned because people just put his name out there and it was bad for his business. As far as we're concerned, maybe that was he resigned or it was corruption. Either way, you can't have a cake and eat it. So we call it corruption, or we say because his name was out there and somebody just pick, just took it from among the minister to define his character. Because of that, we have to resign. I don't understand what are we saying here today. Is Ami Moda in the wrong? Did he do anything to violate the Constitution? Was he involved in corruption? Is this the reason why he resigned? Or is just because of pressure and he thinks that it will affect his business as a long business man in the country? Is this why he resigned? We want to know. For me, either way, let's just call a spade a spade.
Okay.
The president really fucking corruption. Can we? You guys, the rescue disciples, admit yet that this president is fighting corruption, because there are cases that even worse than Ami Moda case. And the president said was involved in big time corruption when he was not even president. He was president-elect. When his chief of staff got cars worth almost $500,000. And again, nobody can tell me say Christian just did it on his own. It was at the instruction of President Boakai. So this is the reason why up to now, when even the senators ask his resignation, President Boakai did not even press for him. So what are we saying here today? Is this man fighting corruption? That's my question to Brother Christo. If this guy, if Ami Moda is not wrong, if he's right, is Joseph Boakai ready fighting corruption? Thank you.
Okay, we gotta be going here. Thank you so much. Hold on 1 second, I think, before I call this guy. Is that Clarence?
Yeah, there is Clarence Davis.
Okay, Mr. Davis, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Mr. So how you doing?
Good. So who is talking Tabata here this evening?
To me, they had a saying, they say that when something is wrong, it's wrong. It's not back. I'm a member of the party. But sometimes when they're all people, you see that when they're closer to leadership, they can use sometimes the opportunity. This is what happened the former minister case. Because they're the first time he can remember when the race issue came up, he began to bite the right importer. Right after his statement, the president came up, he got there and debunked his statement. That was a fine warning. And they did not stop there. Took a hotel manager and made a hotel manager the RPT director of Ministry of Commerce. So that this guy was, because feel that the person of building that United Partners is using is a property. So the money that he put behind the party, he tried the best to get the money. And the third point out there, when he went to declare his getting an asset to the Senate, he said that he had a boat But he bought in January. But when the document came out, he just bought it, but they bought July. So how can we bite them in? We got that, but you be a policy. But when something is wrong, don't say it's wrong. But I mean, we are very greedy. You are like a greedy hunter. You have 6 years to
Oh, greedy hunter?
You are like a greedy hunter.
This edition talk a lot of stuff.
You only now us keep on why you couldn't use that money to buy bosses for the record of becoming to work? Just for you and me, a minister is okay, look for comfort.
So, Mr. Davis, so you as an ordinary Liberian, what next? What do you want to see happening now? Resign, and that's it, or do you think any crime was committed?
Yeah, crime was committed in a case here.
How do we establish that?
Committed in a case when he asked the ARA, he asked to buy cars, well, not a single car. So if you ask for that money to buy 2, 3 cars, and use that money to buy 1 car, there's a problem. There's a crime committed there also.
And he didn't return any cash, right?
Mr. So please hold on. One of the things I want to look at keenly is the government be careful. There are a lot of damaging information will come against the government. Because if the minister commit wrong, he said a person resign, the person resign. Even the person stole, the person go with the money. But the judge didn't go with the money. The only report came out. The court in a general, but at the end of the day, the argument to resign. She go with the money. So another minister will go and say, oh, the way I get my market in America, then we got 1.5 million and pay my market when they 5 million. So when you do a resign, send it to LACC, and when they are finished, they go by their business. But if you start paying money, you're talking about you protecting your family image. What family image are you protecting here?
Are you disappointed?
He bought 1 car. About the reason why the money was given.
Are you disappointed, Clarence?
Yes.
Are you disappointed this evening?
I'm highly disappointed this evening because the reason why other people say that the president did nowhere. Don't say the truth.
Are you willing? So hold on 1 second. Are you willing to call and tell your liberal here? He just called and telling her it's none of our business. More fun place to say that the marriage are. Why are you telling me here tonight? You were called.
Mr. So every good thing that happened in Liberia is happy for every one of us. We all have family members in Liberia there. And this happened in the past administration do it anytime. People use it getting their access to the person and they store in our country, not to keep on out of it. So if the president was still a legacy president, the secretary got to eat it, no baby. Don't ask somebody to fire that person, say that person to the court, because if you continue to say that all person resign, that person resign, go.
Thank you so much.
Money. Another person will go again and see that person go resign. So then where's the country money? And the information that coming about that car, but I mean, say, boy, you say there's a bush meat. It's a stolen car from America. Is there not a buy index for the government?
Well, no. Well, that's why the investigation. That one week, I know there are a lot of Facebook posts, and I don't really believe in this thing. And this is why when investigation is just to clarify something to make sure you two, you're not on the wrong side of the story that can vindicate you and stuff. But Clarence, thank you so much. Will you still be with the Liberal?
Liberal is one of the supreme leader on the network, and we support him fully.
Oh, yeah, okay, bye. I told you you're coming to say bye. Supreme leader.
I said you're wrong. Where in the brain? Mr. Stolen car. Oh,
it's in the Ayatollah. But yeah, what happened? And this information, most of the time when these different meetings, things bring things up. We have been told all of these things are yet to be verified.
So, Mr. So point of information I want to drop in real quick. All right. I don't know if the calls are gone, but point of information, I just want to read something here. All right. And from the new down. So say, firstly, the LRA clarifies that it has not purchased a vehicle value at US 150,000 as reported. However, it confirms the approval of the MOCI's request in early May 2024 for US 96,000 from its customs capacity building fund under the destination inspection contract held with Metec Scientific and all that for the purchase of vehicles to support the MOCR. These vehicles are intended for trade-related activities in collaboration with customs, the specifications of the vehicles, as well as their deployment with the so it says here that it were vehicles that should have been purchased for 96,000, not a single vehicle. So if that was
did that news organization quote who they cited from the LRA? Did they quote who they cited? They cited Double Jala. I want you to tell me, because I'm looking at that too. Did they cite that Double Jala to that? Because I'm reading it too.
Wait now. Because you see, you always like to change the goalpost.
Bro, I just want to just ask you one question. I just ask you who they cited.
I don't have. Hold on 1 second. Let him make a point.
Simple question. Simple question.
Listen,
who they cited?
That is not a discussion.
I asked no, but you citing a news source. I said, who are they citing as their source? Then you can tell me again, bro.
I told you the source of the news.
Who is the source?
The source of the news already.
No, I said who the news is quoting for LRA. Who is the news quoting?
The information from LRA.
Thank you.
The
I rest my
information
case.
coming from LRA.
So now, okay, no, listen. Reportings get different forms and shit. Now this is a big
Mr. So you know exactly the question I'm asking. Don't backpedal. You know exactly what I'm asking that question.
Now listen, we gotta kind of chill in this whole
The information here tells us.
I'm coming 1 second.
This is the LRA. The LRA clarifies. So I don't know the spokesman for LRA or whosoever spoke. The LRA clarifies.
Right. Thank you. The LRA clarifies, but there's not a press release from the LRA that's clarifying that. But LRA clarifies, and there's not a source that they're quoting from. That even said not to be cited. They say, oh, that want to be anonymous. None of that, right? Mr. So you're a journalist and you know exactly why I'm asking that question.
Yeah, but you try to keep the can down the road.
No. Mr. So you know exactly why I'm asking that question. Don't pretend you don't know.
But here is the thing. As long as saying they're not under obligation to describe.
They did not say a source. They said the LRA clarifies. They did not say a source that wants to remain anonymous or none of that.
I haven't read that, but what I'm saying,
I'm reading it right now. I'm on the people's website right now reading it.
Okay, so but
because there is nobody to say that this person was the one from the LRA, so you don't believe it, right? So that you trying to say that
no. In basic sourcing, whether you're writing for public consumption or for intellectual debate, you cite. And if the person does not want to be cited, you say an anonymous source who refused to be cited. Mr. So know exactly what I'm saying. If you want to refer gossip, you say this group says this. When you're writing for tabloid, that's how tabloid writes.
No,
Mister, I'm telling you,
guys,
Terry, what I'm telling you, Terry, what I'm telling you is, Terry, what I'm telling you to cite intellectually, you don't cite those things.
Okay, can you guys?
That's gossip column.
So this is not valid.
It's gossip because when the tabloid cites, that's how the tabloid cites. That's a tabloid posting right there. Mr. So knows it, and he's trying to backpedal, but that's a tabloid posting right there.
No, that's not a tabloid.
How you say LRA clarified? You don't say when. What was the document that clarified that?
The owner, the proprietor, he's a very
no. And I don't care about the proprietor. I'm talking about the posting.
Yeah, no, that's not a matter of posting. It's not
the posting. I'm talking about a particular posting. If you, Mr. So, you are a journalist. If you can write and say, an anonymous source who is not close to speak to us, spoke to us on condition, and you don't say.
I do not have to use anonymous.
I did not say that. If the LRA clarifies, you link to the clarification the LRA gives you.
Is that a headline story that Terry?
Yeah, because that's their group.
Who group? What group?
Who Google? I don't follow no group when I'm making you.
You see, this
Before
is
you can
why.
put it
This
in
is
there.
why
I am right on their website reading it. That's the reason I'm pushing it, because I'm reading their website. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, I understand, but what I'm saying, New Dawn is not a guess yesterday. New
That
Dawn.
That is not an argument yet. That is not an argument yet. Just because you've been in the business for 10 years, don't mean you can't read tabloid. That's not an argument yet.
New Dawn is not a tabloid.
I did not say they are. I said you cannot write a tabloid story. You can be a legit government and you write a tabloid story.
Now listen, you have the right to clarify that way.
That's the point I'm saying. That's why I asked for the sourcing. That is why I asked for the sourcing. I don't care about how long you're doing being in the business. I didn't say that. I didn't say they're a bad entity. I talk about the story.
Yeah, so you see, and that's why people write story in different forms and in different shapes.
Yeah, but if you write a story in the tablet form, then we talk about the tablet form.
The LRA have not debunked the information.
Again, the point here is, my brother, Mr. Soul has said
the information is valid.
No, that's not true. That is not how you logically vet anything. Mr. Soul has said that you can write statement, you can write story in several forms. If you read it in a tablet form, then we think it's a tablet. That's the point.
The information was wrong. The LRA
that is not true. Sometimes you can choose to rise above gossip. People don't respond to tabloid newspaper posting.
Can I make my
particular reporting, the LRA even debunked
again
of gossip and misinformation.
Who did they quote in the LRA? Who did they quote from the LRA? Because you must have reading the same thing. I want you to tell me who they quoted so we can drop it for the public to read it. Who they quoted from the LRA?
The information
I'm not begging you, man. When an organization writes a tabloid post, just because you wrote something doesn't mean somebody has to go and verify and talk against it. You can write your stuff if you're a tabloid. I don't have to debunk it.
Hello, this is unacceptable. I will not allow that. We can't. This is not geometric market. We are having a conversation here, and everybody should be able to make an input. We can't just be shouting. You can make your point. I can agree and disagree. Again, we have almost 9 minutes to go. I haven't read the story, but what I'm saying, if New Dawn is a reputable news outlet as well, if a story developed from that and they use the word source and making reference to
they did not use the word source. They did not use the word source. They said the LRA clarifies.
Yeah, they did not. So if they say LRA clarifies, it means they are quoting someone that which do
no. That's Mr. So no.
So who is clarifying? Who is clarifying?
You can in tabloid reporting. You can link anything and say the LRA clarify. Anybody, the janitor, Mr. So, you ask a question, right? You ask a question. If the janitor talk to you, Mr. So, if the janitor talks to your LRA, that's the LRA clarifying. If you can't tell me that, if you say LRA clarify or citing the source, link to the clarification, or you can say,
this is why LRA have the communication.
No. If a tabloid, Mr. So, you live in America. You go to the gas station and you buy tabloid magazines, and they talk about
his website
again.
Journalist reporting. Now
it's on the LRA website.
Yeah,
you go from the journalist. You see the problem. You go from New Dawn to LRA website now. You see it? You see it? No. If the Terry, if the New Dawn does not, the New Dawn said
this is LRA website.
And why is saying that? Because let me on the LRA website, where is saying right there?
Let's leave it at. I want to go back to the story. Let's leave
the LRA refused the allegation. It did not talk about all the
step in Liberian Revenue Authority. It will take you directly to the website. It goes there, it says the LRA clarify from the website. You go
read the clarification. Please read the clarification for us. Please read the clarification.
These are the
And see,
clarifications.
every validate what you saying.
I don't have to read everything, but
But just read the part that validate what you saying, bro.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I try to
Okay.
read it. You're not giving me a chance.
Okay,
Read the part that validate what you saying.
Terry.
Yeah.
Okay, with due respect, I'm
begging you, man.
Your argument now is way over the edge. I don't think this is how we're supposed to argue. When
I'm
people
sorry, Mr. So,
are interrupting, when you're making your point, Mr.
yeah,
A must make his
God
point.
can give
Mr.
me a
B.
chance.
What are you?
But Terry, you want side sources, go look there.
Okay, then leave it. I don't want here the LRA here because we already get this here. I'm going to go back to that story. I will have to go back to that story. We will have a conversation, and those conversations, I think they must be done.
Can I just read what it says here, Mr. So?
What you want? You come read it?
Huh? Because he said I should read it. The LRA information. He said I should read it. And this is the
LRA website.
Yeah, that the LRA website. I'm there right now. Go on the something. Firstly, the LRA clarified that it has not purchased a vehicle value at US 150,000 as reported. However, it confirms the approval of the MOCR's request in the early May 2024 for US 96,000 from its custom capacity building fund under the destination inspection contract held with Medtech Scientific Limited for the purchase of vehicles to support the MOCR. These vehicles are intended for trade-related activities in collaboration with custom. The specifications of the vehicle, of the vehicles, as well as their deployment within MOCR, are determined by the MOCR, not the LRA. That's
right. So what they're telling you right there is that there is an agreement, not with that vehicles, that there's an agreement to purchase a vehicle. Nowhere in that you're trying to link that you're saying that your entity, your tabloid entity is a reputable organization. They're trying to link that vehicle purchase to Amimodan when they're saying that LRA is telling you that we have an agreement for purchases for vehicles to be used in the system, not Amimodan vehicle. But you're trying to tie it to Amimodan because of the tablet posting. That's why I'm asking to read that. Because it did not anywhere quote Amimodan. So what was the connection in there that pointed to Amimodan from the LRA?
No, you tell us.
Again, no. You go back to your reading where you quoted because you tie it to the Amimodan. Where did they say anything about Amimodan in our posting?
Yeah, it's a question. How do we know that it's not Amimodan?
Because it's not written in it. Why do I know that it's not your car? Mr. So, how do I know that your car? You're not written inside too. How do I know that your car?
No, he is the head of the agency.
For MOCR?
Amimodan is the ministry of
right. So if he's the head of the entity, so any vehicle that's purchased, so when they talk about any entity, any vehicle, is this vehicle, right?
Yeah, what we're saying now in his arrangement, all we know he was buying cars. So anything deriving from LRA, those vehicles will be vehicles that will be used by the ministry. We now know instead of cars being bought, one car is being bought.
You're asking us to make a leap. You are asking us to make a leap because you have a contract that's for vehicles.
How do we need to make a leap when
the message when I be telling you, but talking to you jump in because you're reading two things that connect nothing. They connected nothing. They trying to defend a tabloid newspaper friend, and I'm pushing the point. Then you're just running where I want to place. You see, message must stop it. The method they want to tell you, so I'm continue. So I'm leave it alone. Okay, let's leave it alone. Let's move on.
You see, Male, this is what happens when people take side, emotions, sentiments, their political stuff all kicks in. That's what's happening. That's also what then we're saying then. So the Keto is quite correct. There's complete.
This is coming from somebody who plays a loyalty to an individual. Keto says I can understand. The man's a cultist, so I can I can argue with people who got political ideology, not a personal worshiper. So I don't worry about Keto.
Okay, but before we wrap up, I know the whole thing took ways here, but here were some of the things that happened, and we're waiting to see. There was a meeting today. We all know there was a meeting held. For the first time, we have been told sources close to the meeting. The vice president spoke out today. The vice president spoke out on a lot of issues.
What's the evidence?
What's the what?
What's the evidence the vice president spoke today and from whistles?
I don't have to tell you my source, and that's what I say. Sources.
You can make us do there now. Today the Pope spoke also on Liberia.
No.
Yeah, I will not give you my source.
Can I say what I want to say, please? I don't make up anything here. You don't. I'm not one of those who in the habit of bringing up. And you will get at some point in time, you will see them being reported in different outlets. So we don't make up anything here. What I don't know about, you brought it like a story here. I say I've not read it. I'm saying it, but I'm just saying the vice president discontent. He feels very disrespected. He's not aware, according to folks, his office is not aware of those cars being bought. He feels there was no justifications of those cars being bought over $1 million. He feels disrespected that his office was in a phone with Senator because he's the head of the Senate. When he, Darius DeLong, Kanga, and all of those people are going, he feels there are a lot of priorities. He's concerned of these alleged corruptions, these cases, that they need to step out to the extent, and I'm going to be very clear with some of the things, that if not much is done, they too can be audited, no matter how long it takes. And at the end of the day, what he said was very much fascinating, according to those that are familiar with it, was that at the end of the day, it was only George Weah and Joel Howard Taylor. It's not going to be this minister, that other minister. He came on board and he helped to make this president to win based on the votes that came from Nima. So moving forward, I don't know why he was not taking charge, but he's not saying he's going to take charge because a lot of things being done. Now, hold on one second. When you're talking, people don't interrupt you. So that's not, so we're not in court here. I'm speaking from the information I'm getting. That's what I'm saying. So you don't ask me, say, where is the evidence? Evidencing there.
No. Finish with the evidence issue. I said to a point.
Yeah, so when I finish that, you make your point. If I finish that, then the point can come in.
The man want the USSR to now when you finish when you make a point.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's you try to disconnect people because the thing about it, I'm saying, you say point and another person say point was saying. But anyway, let me finish, then you can put whatever RV you want to give it, you can give it. All right.
You can put drip on there, all right.
So that is a clear indication, allegedly, that things happening, other people are not satisfied. And if these information are true, I think it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call because they are all in it for the betterment. And from all indication, you can now see, that Jeremiah Cohn potentially does have a long-term political ambition, no matter what it is. So he also have to speak his own mind to protect his side. Now, give your RV, let's see.
With all due respect to the panelists, Jeremiah Cohn, he honored constitutional responsibility to keep his mouth shut. As a vice president, he need to keep all his reservation and observation until further notice. This is an attempt to hush an undermining and maneuvering technique to undermine His Excellency. A vice president don't talk on sensitive issue or even start getting angry. He is not the president. So they are coming now. Their role he taking to express his view. Vice president get no error of expressing view. You vice president, and you stay there as such and keep yourself parked in the garage. His Excellency did it, and he need to follow that full step. His CEO.
So let me ask a question here. Let's flip the coins around here. So are we saying if, for example, the vice president, the former vice president of the United States of America, when the former president was telling him to overturn the vote, was that something he should keep his mouth shut? Do you want us to have a ceremonial vice president who cannot? They were all elected. I know, and we all know constitutionally.
Actually, that action was a ceremonial action.
The vice president should just support, even if it is wrong. Is that what
that was a ceremonial action? That's what the vice president only did what he was supposed to do in America. It was ceremonial. So yes, it was a ceremonial action.
Let me answer your question, Mr. To. I mean, CEO. The African vice presidency is a different ball game. He's sitting down there, he eyeing a seat, and the president too eyeing him. Any attempt to make any statement, you will be in trouble. His Excellency Vice President, he need to keep quiet. He got to really keep quiet.
He in trouble? What kind of trouble? You do a dismissing?
Oh, he could be already arrested.
For what?
Or get him removed. Or charge him. Or charge him. What do you mean by what mean? You don't know the African system? What do you mean by what mean?
I don't know why y'all will continue to want to
we cannot compare the vice presidency in Liberia to the vice presidency here. The vice presidency in Nigeria, it got one criteria. You remain quiet until your time comes. If hurting you, go home and solve it with your wife and children. And you don't talk in our meeting in front of the president. That is the African system. So that thing he talking there, you putting yourself in bad.
Is that an acceptable system?
The African standard, yes.
No, what about standard? Is that an acceptable standard or system?
I said the African standard. I said yes. I'm speaking from the African standard. Have you ever seen a vice president talking in Africa? No, it's forbidding. You can meet the president. No, you can meet the president behind closed door, your thought, chat, all right? But to come in a meeting where you talking, you try to flex your arm and you're angry, that's not the typical African vice president. He putting yourself in a big trouble.
So you can also remove it. I hope you, I don't know what method you're going to use. It's just that you're going to remove a sitting vice president. So what
the vice president, just what you described, is it right?
Is it right to speak out in a meeting?
Yes, is it right? To be angry and speaking against anything, the corruption going on, this and that. You know what he's doing on there? Is he wiser than the president? Is he wiser than the president?
Okay. Well,
as a vice president, you are delegated a responsibility, and you don't go beyond that line. You go beyond that line, they're going to hook you. That's the African standard, or the Liberian standard for that matter.
I also understand the socialist democratic system you want to carry.
So not socialist. Look at Joseph Boakai. He was the best vice president in our country, and he admitted it that he was parked in the garage, and that is a typical vice president. And Vice President Kun got to follow that example there. They had anger and talking before the president, and he angry, corruption going all over. Then I had time. He need to keep quiet. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's the beauty of this network. People can express their view, but I hope there will come a time that we should speak out to ills in society, no matter what your position. So everybody, ministers, people start doing things in ministry, and ministers should keep quiet, and the president is not informed. Then I don't know where we are heading as a
you are appointed at the grace of the president. So you the minister, you sitting down there, and you carry all kind of statement. And I took the pen to put you there. I took the same pen to take it from there. You're not supposed to be talking like that.
But you didn't hear that JB said that there was something Ellen did that he did not like, and he told her that what you doing is not good. First of all, you must understand.
No. We didn't hear it on the radio. No, I disagree.
No, but you heard it on the radio. Is it news that
the cool issue is out. CEO, the CEO just said, the vice president said the woman did something he didn't like. We didn't hear it in the newspaper. We didn't hear it in the radio. We didn't see it on television.
Don't blow it off the window like that. That's
It's
not how
in-house.
it is.
Did you
It's-
see it? Did you see it? Did you see it in the newspaper? Did you? Okay, you just
No.
came here and quoted.
Well,
and
Terry, let me
quoted
ask a
what
question.
happened
How is
in
in-house and the
in
CEO know about
meeting.
it?
Because
Okay,
it's
so you the
there are many
CEO.
things
How
that
you
go
know
on.
about it? Now, where your soul?
If
Where
once
your
they come, when it comes to the CEO, it's not in-house because the CEO not in the house. They're no longer in-house.
But yeah, they were. It's been me and
Hello?
God said
Hello,
until it can be
They're
produced
not
by
in-house. I disagree with your point with Terry, but don't say in-house if the CEO know about it. They're no longer in-house.
No,
That's it.
the journalists that you don't
The
know.
thing about it, the thing
The
about
journalists
it,
that live in the
even
hut,
the White House.
the journalists that live in the hut, if they're not in the hut, they're outside of the house.
Yes, that's it.
It's not a matter
Who
of
do
being
that
in
thing?
the house.
Journalists
No
that get
matter
You know,
information.
my point I make you. Now you're thinking you're talking. I worry about it. If it's in-house, if the journalists not living in the house, they're not in-house. That's my only point I'm making.
Yeah,
The
But
vice
yeah, it's the
president
thing.
is running for president 2029. You think he will sit down and allow
Terry, I not disagree with you. Terry, I not
It's
disagree with you. My point I'm making is don't say in-house because if the journalists not living in the hut, in Yabo, they're not in the hut. They're outside the house.
Vice President, you're not supposed to talk.
Man, what you
I
doing?
don't care what happens. I don't care what happens when people go inside whatever classified meetings. You will always have a lead people there. Two is a crowd. Once the 2% there is a crowd. At the end of the day, somebody gonna tell somebody of who the thing they confide in, and that person will tell another person.
Mr.
It
So,
doesn't mean it's
Mr.
not
So,
in power. It's
Mr.
a
So,
lead.
there are places here when people go reclassify document, never come outside, and there are places conversation I had never come outside. My point I'm making is it's not about whether or not 3 people, 2 is a crowd, 1 is a crowd, and that's my point. If it is in-house, then it doesn't come outside. When outside, it's not in-house. That's my point. But you get the house, the inside the house can be the outside. If the outside, they're not inside the house.
Where you have over 10, 12 people meeting, do you think it's a sort of
Again, you're talking about the mechanics. What I'm looking at is the definition. The inside of the house can be outside. If it's outside, not inside the house. When you play outside, you're not inside. When you're inside, you're not outside. So if the journalists don't live inside the house and they're no longer in-house.
Well, information sharing, it doesn't work. You don't even have to be.
That's exactly what it is.
The same direct people that are in the house.
But the bigger point,
what I'm saying here, you know,
see what the line you are talking to that they meant that my reverend say inside house. Now when the reverend I'm talking about the inside house part. How about
CEO, what the vice president did today, you think right?
What today they meant that thing or what day?
You're gonna adjustment already.
He said today.
Mr. Sola, today that thing happened? Now today that thing happened?
You run a judgment already.
Oh, the man said today happened. So I'm asking that today happened.
He said that today.
Let me see. Let's see here. Hello, caller, are you there?
The man said 5% did today. So I ask you that today. Then he said I render judgment. I ask you a question.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to.
But clarify for me now that today happened.
Say clean with flour today. I know because a man brought that, a man carry broom to see. So I know that.
Flour no different water here. From one avenue, from article sanction avenue to resign avenue to campaign. Okay, let's go to.
If I take citizenship in reward G, going forward, I'm going to fuck a day.
Okay, you know, I have some really good community people here. They say you're in disarray, we are in disarray, and I don't think we are doing the audience service.
The map want to bring me to now. Okay, sorry.
I say you. I say we. They say we are in. I'm part of it. It's because everybody going here.
But the way you're talking, I can tell when you're throwing hints. I mean, you're throwing our hints out.
No, but CEO, you answer my question here. Vice President is
you're gonna be Loma woman. You're not gonna be easy. I think. Wow. So you know about hints and all. Let's go to the caller here. Then we'll come to your other call. We'll come to your caller. Good evening. Welcome.
Yes, Mr. So this is D, and I'm calling from somewhere in Iowa.
Okay.
Well, I think as intellectual, our ability to listen and how other people speak should be sometimes the center of our discussion. We're hearing a lot of back and forth, and
yes,
we're not really getting what everybody's saying. So we should be a little bit more disciplined. But the topic is very interesting, though. But I was a little bit disappointed when I heard one of the elder saying that the vice president should keep quiet. when people say those type of things on this type of public platform, it just speaks to the level of credibility that we want our leaders to bring forth. The vice president is an elected official because he was elected by default. The fact that we elected the president chose him. So by default, that's an elected position. Let's say if the vice president decides to run 2029 as a president, if he can already speak against corruption right now, how sure are we that he's going to become a good president in the future? It just speaks volume of the mentality of our people. Because I'll be honest with my people, if the population was intelligent enough, like open-minded, I don't think we could have looked at Baka to be president as a presidential material. Because Baka up there, they squander billions of dollars, Baka never say anything. But because of the low-mindedness of our people, we made Baka president. So that we're preparing Kun to sit there and be idle to corrupt practices and not say anything. 2029, we made him president because we will come with the excuse that he was a parked car. Where are we going with this thing? This is very embarrassing, to be honest. This is why other races just look down on Africans. Because the type of decision we make and the way we portray our government on social media. What about sound, intelligent country? We're hearing this about discussion about we making the vice president to be a ceremonial position and he can talk even when there are ills in the society, he can speak. How does that even make sense? How does that even speak to the credibility of our people? It is very disappointing. I think vice president should speak because he agreed to the president that, in other words, he agreed on the agenda of the president. If the president or if the agenda going contrary, he has a right to speak. Because that's why he agreed. When he agreed that we run the country, we have to how to call it, the mission and the rescue mission. We have to rescue the people. You should be there to foster the agenda of the president. So if there's a corrupt practices that the president is not capable of speaking, the vice president should speak against it. That will speak volume and will prepare him better to be a better leader in the future. But if he said there like Dwight Howard Taylor did, all the corrupt practices keep going on, then election comes, they say it was a parked car. What becomes of the minds of our people? When are we going to be intelligent enough to start doing some reasoning that make a lot of sense? But the topic is very interesting now.
So thank you so much. Let me. I want to say one thing.
I got a question for the caller.
What?
Go ahead.
You get a
The man go. You asking you an answer.
Oh, he listening. He listening.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what is within our purview for people who express their views, their opinions. So kind of like.
See, you have allowed
the message must be. The message must be quiet. Just how you said to the man, must be quiet. It must be quiet.
Yesterday, it doesn't mean we can do it today. But if he wants to answer, what I'm saying, you know,
Dr. Male, the CEO said must be quiet. Just how you say, must be quiet.
Oh God! I want us to establish a system here, a sort of refined system.
What is system?
This system, that's a system. You also promoted this system here. We have to allow our audience, our viewers.
The co-host and the host will argue again.
Yeah, and that's a uniqueness about all. I'm not like the liberal and Jerry's, but if he wants to answer it, that is okay. But I don't want us to build a fear in our people. Or if I go say something, they will ask me a question. He's not a person that will run from that. But
so that's CEO, that's the rule now.
Decisions are determined based on
the circumstances. Okay, yeah. Very good.
That's the iron curtain. That's the iron curtain.
Then the question goes to the CEO.
This guy, where you came from?
That the iron curtain tonight. That the iron curtain. So my question.
Wait, hold on 1 second. George, are you there? Is that George? He said,
I'm still here. This is Dave.
Oh, Dave. Okay. So, do you want to enter? We love engagement here. Okay. So, are you willing to respond to his question?
Yes, I'm wholeheartedly willing. I think the show should be interactive sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, George. Can you just educate me at what point in history in Africa or Liberia, as a case study, that a vice president was angry and he has to address corruption issue? Can you just educate me if you have any idea about that? Because I know it's customary. Vice president, you sit there and you keep your mouth shut.
Customary
thing. So can you tell me at what point in our history that a vice president was very vocal and angry, according to the CEO?
I didn't use it. You I don't know why you got your angry.
Can the CEO please start disrupting the question? The doctor is asking his question. Can we speak one at a time, please?
Yes, we got a rule here now. The Ayaketi.
That's an appeal to history. When something that's being done continuously, that's wrong. But because it has been done continuously, they will try to make it seem that it's right. That's an appeal to history. When you look at the work of the president is to foster the agenda of the work of the vice president is to foster the agenda of the president.
No, point of correction. No, point of correction. No.
He finished, then you do the correction.
Point of correction. He's not there to advance the agenda of the president. He's giving specific responsibility. And as long as they don't get you the responsibility, you sit in your office and keep your mouth shut.
That's debatable, because the issue is that if the agenda of the vice president is if the mission of the vice president is to advance the agenda of the president,
I'm going to revoke the gas status tonight after the show.
That restrain him to productivity. It also open to criticism. If the president do something wrong, or if something is not going contrary, if something is going contrary to what the agenda is, the president also has the right to speak against it. And not just productivity. The president also has, let's say if I'm a vice president and you the president, and I became your vice president based on the agenda that we both agree upon. And then things start to go contrary. Should I not have the right to talk against it? I only agree to be a vice president based on the shared agenda that we have. If things go contrary to what I accepted as a vice president, don't I have a right to speak against it? That's a question that goes to you. Should I just say that I don't?
Okay, very good. You and myself in this sophisticated society, can you point at a time where the vice president here had to correct the president on certain things and make sure it happened? Because I would rather want to be educated tonight about the vice president role. Let's come to America now. Let's forget about Liberia.
January 6th is a perfect example.
Oh, I'm coming now.
Why you come here?
Well, he did not correct the president, though. He ran away. He did not correct. He ran away. He didn't correct the president.
We're talking about normal working relationship. And the vice president in America standing up, getting angry.
But on January 6th, the vice president ran away. He didn't correct the president. He ran away. They were trying to hang him.
He did not do the instruction of the president.
Yeah, because it was a ceremonial. It was illegal. It did not happen. It was illegal. The point was the vice president understood was ceremonial and it was illegal. He couldn't do anything because of ceremonial. You couldn't do anything because of ceremonial.
You know,
so by default, you're saying that the vice president only speak on presidential issues that are productive. Is that what you're telling me? Anything that is tinted to the president, the vice president doesn't speak against it. He's ceremonial.
You're not giving someone. You're not giving.
Yeah. Or Kun can address that. He can speak towards that. That's not ceremonial. But when something goes wrong, when you speak about ceremonial, does that even make sense?
Let me bring okay.
It's customary. The vice president doesn't talk in Africa.
What?
That's the conversation they ask you that, but it's not supposed to be that.
Customary is not a law. Because you used to it, so it should be here for the life of the law, right?
That's why I said that's an appeal to history.
No. But this is what happening. Set 1847. That's what happening. Why we behaving like this?
It should be a continuity. That why
Can I point out something?
No, that conjunction is different. Even though it's happening, it's not supposed to be happening. I agree with you. I said, but it is.
Can I say something?
It is.
Because if you read the Liberian Constitution and you read the responsibility and duties of the vice president, you will know it's nothing but just sitting down somewhere waiting for the president to tell you what to do. If you read the duties and responsibility of the vice president of the United States, it's the exact same thing. You sit down with a president and tell you what to do. However, I think Mali was trying to make a point, but maybe people are taking it outside of where he said, remember, be quiet. I think they're talking about his ability to argue with the president in-house and his ability to say we all agree on an agenda and the agenda is not going right and I'm disappointed. I don't think that's what Mali is saying that the vice president cannot speak to. I don't think Mali is saying that vice president cannot chastise the president and say this is not what we agree on. Like in the United States, to say the border wars are not the right way and everything. I don't think that's what Mali is talking about. I think Mali
you helping Mr. Mali to explain himself.
Okay, look at you. Sorry, let me leave the paper on here. Let me leave the two people to fight the war.
Jerry,
Mr. Collins, right trajectory.
Mr. Collins,
is saying the correct thing.
I'm keeping you out tonight. He's out. Jerry coming in. Yeah, Jerry is coming in. Dr. Mali, go and join the
But I think for George,
before the night comes to an end, hold on. I'm making a major announcement here. Before the night comes to an end, Dr. Mali will be replaced with analyst.
But I think that's a demotion for Terry though, because your name in last 3 days we'll move on there. But
you see now, the CEO is attempting to demote me as a co-host.
There you go.
And the CEO president, the vice president,
the vice president, the message will be quiet.
You don't.
But I think the way I understood that on Mali, and again I could be wrong, but the way I understood that on Mali is that Mali got a way of coloring plenty. He can be colorful when you think, but I think what he's trying to say is that the vice president can disagree, but the vice president does not have a lot of authority. Honor our constitution, or even honor the precedents that have been set, honor the way governance has been, both in Liberia and here in the United States. But you can disagree with the president because you were on an agenda. But that disagreement should be tightly held, that it should not come out in the news. And I think that's what Dr. Mali is trying to say. But not that Vice President who cannot make a point.
Behind closed doors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the CEO just said the man was angry.
Dr. Jones, come on, let us go. We'll pick up the last 2 callers and then we'll wrap up for the evening. Yeah. And I will say the last final thing before.
Thank you, sister, for helping your Lpr brother. You were funny.
Speak your mind. When they are for open corrupt allegations, they prepare themselves to be a vice president. I mean, when they do these things, they prepare themselves to be a better president moving forward. But if you sit as a vice president and see these public corrupt practices, and you don't say anything, do you know what happened in the sound country when you intend being running for president? That's how you bury your career even before your career starts. Now, if you have a Taylor has started speaking against corruption, it's going to show some high level of integrity. People are ready for president this going election. But when you sit there, you in a clique of corrupt people, and you don't say anything, and then you can't say you're a pack car, you only say that thing, and you only work among
Clinton was impeached, and Argo stood by him until Argo was running for each other distance himself.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Lion Tail, let's hear you quickly. Minnie, please.
Well, greetings to everybody on the show.
Lion Tail.
You know, I was working, but I didn't talk just purposely for this project. I still say it's a good reverend. Because my president we are. And we were getting Lion Tail in the call. Actually, when I saw the money said I really got them in. So, well, sometimes those, if you've heard of them, don't be using my own president. President, we are part of that for a long time. It's more classical than Joseph Parker, who is destroying Nigeria now. For real. And if you would say, okay, let's be agreeing with Mr. Mali for once. I would say Africa, I didn't see Africa as president. Yeah. Okay. But if you would see the particular vice president with all the, the saga, with all the, suspicious, moves of this user party, all the user parties and president. Bringing his nephew has a chief of staff now, who is it? In case anything happens, you want to keep equal to continue bringing power and all that kind of thing. Okay. That's going on. He was warming up to stand back.
Okay.
And stand the ground against anything and we erect the checkpoints.
Thank you so much.
And the Liberian people, in general, according to the Constitution, will support it. We know that United Party has few Liberian people, but have less than few Liberian people. And even a staff of managed to really be throwing the missiles on him. Not only President we are.
Okay. Thank you so much. We are already out of time. We are way over the time.
To resign.
Thank you so much.
Please get a 10 more minutes, man.
One more question before I end this up.
Yeah, 30 seconds. We're going to run out of time.
The main lane, get him 10 more minutes.
The Ground Zero, Pentecostal school area, but regular Pentecostal school, I get my husband. When they had the buckets, yeah, when they had the United Pentecostal, and then you got the school, church. Yeah, that's my area.
Okay, bye.
Anyway.
Okay, it's 10:26. Let's wrap it up. Not taking no other phone calls here. Who was saying that? Was that Terry or Dr. Jones? Somebody who wanted to come in. Let's wrap it up for the evening.
Let me come in. I got to leave.
Yeah, go on.
I just want to agree with the CEO and the caller that the vice president can talk to the president behind closed door, one-on-one, when they're not happy about other things. But sincerely speaking, we know the type of system we run in Africa. Even in this very big country we're sitting now, to see the vice president and the president, gathering, and the vice president sitting down there, try to disagree with the president. Look at Joy Howard Taylor. She didn't even criticize Joya. She just kept quiet, and Joya started thinking, say she's doing something. They start holding that woman check. She start complaining her money was not going to her. So what I'm saying is good. I agree with my brother that at some point the vice president got to speak against this thing. So when his time get there, people will say, "Oh yeah, he spoke against it." Everything that happened in the 12 years. You ever saw Joseph Boakai talking about those things? He can never talk about it. So I don't know where it's coming from, but it's wrong. But
I will tell you right now, don't go away.
Let me finish now.
That's what I'm saying. I said, don't go finish, but I will tell you where it's coming from what we are hearing.
So this thing has been on. I thought it was only Liberia. It's all over the place where the vice president just quiet. I know there are a whole lot of things can be burning deep down in them, but you can't talk. This is your boss, you see, and you just keep quiet. So I agree with my brother. It's not correct, but it is.
Okay. Who wants to go? Next person.
Yeah, I can go. Actually, so thank you for the show again tonight, even though it was a heater one. But however, that's how it runs sometimes. We didn't go to the funeral palette. We are on intellectual discourse. But however, Unity Party, Mr. So, has their own life support. Unity Party is on life support. If JMB do not put his house in order as soon as possible, Unity Party, when they lose, this 2029 after, they will never see state power again. Because the Liberian people will be fed up with them. They will say, we trusted you for 18 years and you never did anything. You will not see state power. So they could choose to use their time to loot enough and build themselves rich, or they could choose to use this time to set a legacy for them. Because that is what I foresee happening in this government. I was listening to Honorable Terwon Gonglo today. He did pretty well. He spoke something that was shocking to me. And he quoted something. He said, Amara Kone said, that there are eight counties in Liberia that have no minister. And according to the Constitution, the government of inclusion is part of the law. All right. And I don't know what's going on, but Unity Party, JMB, have to put his house in order as soon as possible, because there are already bad signs that we see that is carried. Bad precedents have been set already. to entrap this government in the next 3 to 4 years. All of these things that you see we're talking about tonight, the army model, the time will not come. The time is coming where those things will become serious issues that they will not be able to handle. So my advice, JMB, put your house in order, become drastic, deal with the issue, and lay things over. For the vice president, I think that is what it is, Mr. So. You said it all. The vice president have the right to speak because the vice president knows that his time is coming for him to lead. But he can be doing it openly. He can do it underwater, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, and that's what I'm going to come to. Mr. Goya, what is the show?
Yeah, good show. I came to NEF on resignation role. I think I served my people right.
So
Terry, look at me. Terry, look at me.
You ready to serve them right today? You after the show say and send something I did to you.
So my lady, right? But on a serious note, look, I think I'm optimistic. I think Terry and I think we have different side of the coins, and because maybe we see things differently. 13.89%, round up to 14% of the tenure of this government has elapsed. Right, we are 10 months out of 72 months, and in the first 10 months, you've managed to see a finance minister who felt like he could not function within an organization or an entity, or whether he was sick or not sick, not hold on to power, not hold it there and sit down with it, but left. We've seen a minister of commerce who was a major financier of the government when they were running campaign, gets pressured and he's on his way out. I have not seen that in many governments in my lifetime in Liberia within the same time span. So for me, I think there's progress. Do I think that's good enough as far as the expectations that Liberians have? No. I think because we've had so many bad governments and the last 6 years was so horrible, Liberians are so anxious to get out of the water that they want that thing to be done right now and then. And that is their right. And that is the social contract this government signed. So I think the president ought to move a lot faster. But I also do believe that a lot of progress has been made that wasn't made in the last time. That's why when I hear folks come on here, like my brother Teddy Tay, I won't gain time, or I hear like my brother who was once a sedition, became a Cortis, a Wiashen, and now an independent, trying to say stuff here, Wilton Keto that you are talking to. It amazes me. Right? Because I don't throw shades, I let them call their name. It amazes me. Because these were the same people when continuous of money went missing and the Crow report came out indicting people. They still say money ain't go missing. The day abracadabra, right? If I were they say now you see me, now you don't see me, right? And these are the same people that have the audacity to come and complain here. So for me, I say that things are moving better than what they were before. Are they as quick as we would hope? No, they are not. Because like I said last night, to somebody who was struggling to pay their child's tuition or who family members in JFK don't have medication, to tell them we just been here 10 months ago, hold your heart, it's not good. It's not acceptable. So you have to move faster. So to that end, the government ought to move faster. But I think the issue with Amin Moda, I think that this government should go back and look at other people. At least it becomes a selective issue. I pointed out the issue with the Liberian Immigration Service, where they didn't even go through the beginning of the process for selecting a medical entity that will conduct the medical check for age recruits. I think there's a lot of work that has to be done. And I think Mr. Bwaka and his group needs to make sure that they are being transparent with everybody and not picking and choosing. I mean, that was a sad case. I think there's an issue of making sure that we don't have a lot of political backlash. And he happens to be that one person that has to fall on his sword. He has to fall on his sword tonight.
Okay, what a great conversation. What a guy left his empty chair with us, is that Amin Moda now or Lpr? Look, but on a serious note, our job here is to always speak what is right, what we know. If we hear those information, our job is to discuss it giving an honest conversation, not to exacerbate or add or subtract, because part of that is help to strengthen our country. And it is good that people take a side. It doesn't matter which side. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. But you know, when these things happen, where is Dr. Mali? Why he left the chair with us? Eh? You stay with me.
That's how Dr. Malik
stay with me. But to the issue that I was speaking to,
the man doing like Clint, you know Clint Eastwood when he did the Obama empty chair. That what Dr. Mali doing to you?
To the issue that I was speaking to, again, let me just come to that. We were told it was today. It was not in the big general cabinet meeting. And I want to just expand on it a little bit. Whether it is true or not, based on the information and what we know, the credible people, because like I said, most of these things, when it happens, no matter what, one or two persons inside, and one of those people inside, some kind of leak will comes about. But we're told the vice president has persevered, he has been holding on, but he, not disrespect for him, but even some of his junior members as head of the Senate, some of the things that were happening, he just felt that. And it was shocking based on what we hear. If it is true, those information that are coming from the vice president, why would he say what he's saying? Does it have some sort of magnitude? And I will just expand on that let me just make it crystal clear, because hopefully if it comes out fine, if it doesn't come out, they will hold fire with it, that's not. But we were told, he also made it clear based on one reason, which of course has its own weight, has a weight in terms of how it will be perceived and how people are going to group on that. I don't know what prompted that. We don't know yet. But he was also crystal clear. The reasons he's been holding up and not waiting is to have this sort of meeting. And he never wanted to throw anything out there because of his region. And one, he said, no matter what, he said the Nima people, two groups, the Nima, the Crown, for somehow they are perceived to be troublemaker. And he knows where the whole thing coming from.
Wow.
So that if he has said anything publicly or shout in a way that it shouldn't be by going to the media, it was being perceived a different thing. When you see that, then that means there's some sort of political pressure being mounted from his on the side. So the only way he felt that he should express this in the meeting, not in a condescending way, but in a meeting where a few people so that we know. And he went on to further say, according to the source, where he found on this car, though that not because of the bulletproof, though he left the mansion, he drove to the port. Taylor left not because of all the bulletproof that he had, but there's a time came and he have to leave. So what he was saying that there should be a set priority, because at the end of the day, and if you look inside, there's some sort of logic inside to it. At the end of the day, it would be he and Joseph Boyka, whether minister or senator, all of those people. That's how we're talking here. So it doesn't have to be like the evidence. And I think that's something. The old man, he's a wise old man, because he says, "Hey, they were told that the Sylvester Grace Bay, those people, they don't even respect him. When the president is out, they do whatever thing they want to do." And he feels that was unfair. So expressing that, I think it's good to get it out. I'm not sure it was done in a condescending or disrespectful way, but it's to also let the president know some of the things that happens in his absence. Let me show you a picture. And when you say, no, don't go. Start trouble. Yeah, hold on, don't go.
No, what trouble?
In February, you want to go that door. I can't hold you hostage. That's
VP not supposed to be talking.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. VP not supposed to be.
I become
We
president.
will talk. VP can't talk. We will just talk what happened.
You can't talk. You talk.
In February of 2019. And I agree what you're saying. In February of 2019, right? Not February 8th of 2019. I was privileged to sit with Joel Howard Taylor. And
I remember that interview.
You see this picture here? And she said, she's not president. She said, because even the guy that was the spiritual advisor, one Vannings, Reeves, all of those people, they are friends, so meeting up. She said, I almost resigned. In fact, I literally resigned, except it wasn't made public because of things that were happening. The only people that helped intercede were the Council of Churches. It's just the same thing where Dr. Mali is saying. But I think it's okay in this sort of modern society when there is some sort of disconnect or something is not going right, you sit at a table and you talk about it, and then perhaps some sort of adjustment can be made. But for you to say that, oh, the minister of state, when you leave, they don't, no consultation to do whatever they want to do, that is wrong. Now, will you say the president know about it? Probably he's not, because he's out of the country. But you will always hear that when the president leaves, the statement is in consonance with the vice president. There's a reason that the president who can't leave vice president. They'll have to leave their chief of staff or something. But they will also tell you, say, in consonance with the vice president, because the president himself knows it's the number two. He is the number two president. But you know, people quick to run ahead of their shadow. And that's why some of the things we were blaming about Josh we had yesterday, when the Mangay and other people who felt there was so much to do. And I like the decision, even if it were pressured by the president to let Manda go, it serves as a deterrent, because some people, they feel they are indispensable. They can't touch them. I did this for the president. I do this. So what? You do it? Okay, you do it for a cause. And the president politically reward you. Right. So for you to come and do crazy thing and think that you're going to throw him, you know, in the gutter, no. So
that's true.
We all want to see the best for our nation. We need to have brave people who will have this conversation. Why it is true, the Constitution, the provision there, you're not supposed to do X, Y, Z, but hey, time has involved, so people want to be speaking and just give a conversation. Gentlemen, what a greatness. Sister, why are you here today?
Today I have been fasting and praying. I got to send my tithes to the Reverend Collins, because it worked out great. Daddy said I'm not going any no more, so I left it alone. The man said I'm gonna leave Nina, so it's been really difficult.
You keep fasting that many.
The problem I'm not going any no more. So I've been on the renting now. But look, it was a good conversation, and I think sometimes people, our audience don't realize that after all this yelling,
we don't not personal. We don't put people in the back.
It's not personal. Terry will come back tomorrow. You still greet me. I see your brothers, and I'll still before and quote here and agree as the Archbishop, and we move on. We're done. So, but it's been a good show. Actually, I've missed the platform. I just want to put that out there. I've been so busy, and I think we've been doing a disservice to this platform. So we are back. We're hoping to make sure that we are as consistent. Don't bring the other politics. I hear me here eating crow and say I've been going for a long time.
The Lpr here tonight. The Lpr has recruited Sese, went to Lofa, Koto Jala.
But I haven't been. Terry, please back me up here. Terry, have you seen me on that platform lately?
You have not been constant there. I have not ready. You have not been constant.
I'm very busy.
He went there. What are you calling for?
Look at him. But anyway, Terry, he went here now. So, but anyway, someone Esther just asked a question. I texted with Pop George the other night. Esther, he's doing better. He's doing better. We're still keeping him in prayers, but thanks for asking. He watches the show. You know, it's a tough situation. So, you know, we all got to keep him in our prayers.
I'm not hearing you.
If you can't hear me, then how you know I'm talking?
Because I'm not hearing. I'm just hearing something grunting, but I'm not hearing who talking. Who was that?
Okay. I want to do
your line is bad. Call back.
I would have said Trini here. I would have said, "Are you Trini?"
How you get before like this? So,
but the man said you want
the full line is down.
Don't worry, I'll give you daddy, yeah.
I believe the Bible is authentic. So how you somebody said they want to check the authenticity and then you blame me right away? You see a problem?
Are you hearing him? Are you hearing
Who is that? Who is that?
Talk now.
Okay.
You hearing him?
Yeah, they
That
can hear
liberal.
me.
No, they said they're not hearing you.
That liberal.
My papa, it is a good playing toy.
My closing will be, this is a bad show tonight.
Okay,
The liquor
bye.
will be
My
up
phone,
tonight.
my battery dying. Bye. You want to come on my show and money? Bye bye. I'm not here for you. When Jerry back on come tomorrow, then I can have your fan show. What's wrong with you? You want to come? You want to come execute me on my own? Go to EFBC tomorrow.
Hit the platform and call me there. We'll talk.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. So. We're not hearing you, Ceci.
All right,
Mr. So. Mr. So, we'll talk in the back tomorrow. Remember when I told you about some guests and other stuff? We got to talk. We got to connect around some stuff.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll talk in the back and then we'll do something.
You hang out with Reverend, but I don't know. You don't have some prayer time.
Oh man, you know how much holy water I gave my heart. And I think I got to get some for Terry Collins.
That man do that like he wept.
The more they baptize him with holy oil, the more
Terry, you said the truth. I can get in the middle of the night, see the woman standing want me pray. I said, man, go to that see.
I will not only you.
You guys are devil.
No, but she is the prayer one in the family, though. I mean, I'm too lazy to be off for more than 30 seconds to pray. But I pray for 3 minutes too long. But God has been good. You know, we just got to put it out there. We joke around a lot, but, you know, Terry, you know me, man. You know, I respect you and the work you do. So we just be playing around.
So Terry, I think you will be admitted into our whole firm because Dr. Jones is a disaster. So
the independent voices.
I turn into the liberal and Jerry back on.
Terry, be careful. Terry, be careful. When somebody overthrow, Terry, when somebody,
we started on Good 14. By the time the liberal came, he took
you see it? Terry, you might not have been alive during the 1985 coup, but let me tell you something that we all read. Be careful when people overthrow and they name you in cabinet. They may overthrow the man who name you in cabinet. Be careful.
I remember the 1985 coup.
You see, all the people that they name in cabinet, the coup not over here became a problem. They remember not name you when he finished overthrowing.
But the man didn't know he was dealing with a three master sergeant. Though are now stupid man. Yeah. But
then you yet not announce you as commanding general of armed forces, and Dr. Mali stay in the background. He go down here.
Voices are good people. Yeah, I show Dr. Mali, you know, man. Dr. Mali, I want Dr. Mali to knock me off.
Mali to those social communists seem to in him. So people sometimes.
But on a serious note, good night. I'll be on the Libra show tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be better than this one, and I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's not going to try to shut me off tomorrow. I will be on a Libra show. It will be a very nice show tomorrow. I'll pick on tomorrow.
So, know that Libra send you to net to cause
tomorrow when I be an iron curtain, it will not be an iron curtain tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be a night show.
Tomorrow will be a freedom show. You can you'll have the right to call.
So don't be on Thursday.
Tomorrow, I'm taking tomorrow off. I'm bringing acid water. I will chakra everything.
Teddy, come on tomorrow. You will get a long time to talk. Mr. Day, when I be you and I do not call you up. Yeah, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, good night. You see that? I see what Fatu say. You are on a cover. Fatu say on a cover. Okay, Terry, Mr. Goya, thank you so much for the event. Good night to all. All right, folks, that does it. And we want to thank you so much for the time. Yeah, sometimes we have rough edges here on this network, but passionately each and everyone puts what they strongly believes in. But the concept that vice president, you should just keep quiet with this sort of push coming from Dr. Mali, I don't buy into it. I don't buy into it. The vice president potentially prepare himself for the oath of office. So you can't say that because, calling to Mali, Dr. Jones, It's customary. So we should live in that customary world, even though it's wrong. But yet they are calling for changes. They are calling for advanced society. So how can you be in multiple places at the same time? If it is wrong, it is wrong. So when the vice president speaks his mind, I think he should be respected. When you have senators and you have other people, ministers disrespecting him, and he's speaking, that's in a meeting, in the forum, that's the best place to speak. So I don't think it was done in a condescending way. He was talking from reality, and we need to understand that. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening by God's willing. Come tomorrow and see the Lpr Progressive and his man Jerry Bacon. And the choir directress, Fatu, they will be here tomorrow to sing Hallelujah, Hosanna, Hosanna, the Most High. Come tomorrow, you're going to see them. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. The mama walker. Say, see. It's T-Real on. Yeah. Hi. Diddy bam, 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 bam. Diddy bam. Diddy bam, 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 bam. I will focus on my journey, not go regret. I give God the glory for his blessing. I'm not a first and I won't be the last. In every distance, I'm learning my last year. With a move, we are heading to the top. No time to wait. Forward forever, backward never. Backward never. I say I need it alone. I do it alone. Now when the Papa got it in my side. Now when the Papa got it in my side. My inspiration is coming from the Lord. We are heading to the top. Can't tell, see me, yeah. You and I know me. When God bless you, no one can curse you. When you live, you all, no one can bring you down. Down, 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 down. I say you be wherever one be treasure. Why they just drop up how you regret. You are my disgrace, you show me grace. Lord, I thank you. He's Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And then for disgrace, he turned it around. The one that took care of me, he saved my life. Deny one, yeah. Yeah. My Jesus, I'm taking it, yeah.
What does the sound of gospel artist Jemima Walker right here fitting away right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network, like Republic Radio. And this weekend, the National System enters Des Moines, Iowa. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. It's better late than never. Time just hang out. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. It's better late than ever. Johnny. We want to say thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. FWMS, thank you so much. Lucinda Cole, good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much. Hope to have you here another time. Until folks, if you hear my voice, I drop the microphone and say good night.
Jesus, see my tears. Hosanna, see my tears. Jesus, feel my peace. Hosanna, feel my peace. Jesus is knocking on your door. Hey, my love, he died for you.
You've worked for months to bring your or your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are standing by waiting for your phone call.